You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Nina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Seth. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did. Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
What up, everybody? This is the People's Babushka, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
What's up, everybody? It is the hottest flame, the realest Hogan, the bionic baddie, Kiera Hogan, period, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Get it? Got it.
It is once again that time as we simply predict the next biggest PLE in WWE, bringing you tuna extravaganza from a little bit beyond the Midwest. And this is SummerSlam, Minnesota. Simply predicting episode number 179. Welcome in once again, everybody, to the conversation. Let's go ahead and get right into the predictions. Let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Simply Reliable Studios, as well as Simply Predicting Your Judgment. Noted you guys the YouTube channel. You know what this is. For I'm the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of SRS, forever grateful for all things professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster. So thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the patch is as simple as that. And of course, your opinions matter too, as well as your predictions. Stay tuned for the forum after the stream concludes, amongst all the feeds on YouTube that this has streamed to, as well as my social medias and the social medias of No DQ. Without further ado, let's introduce tonight's predictors. First and foremost, it is always great to have a reliable source to bring his mindset, as I welcome Mr. Reliable, Walter Cruz, who brings himself forward into the light, a good light for once. Walter, ¿cómo estás? How are you? Good to see you. How you feeling about SummerSlam? Doing good. I'm actually looking forward to it. I criticized WWE for this whole 2 nights, but at least they've given a lot more matches, so we'll see. I actually, after watching SmackDown, I got a little more interested in some matches, so should be good. All right, good deal. We'll get back to you shortly. And along with him, the other half of the most reliable source here at SRS, he is our brand ambassador, social media guru, our interview, of course, aficionado, the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams, CEO of Casting Studios. JJ, here we are once again. Let's go ahead and get right into the trope. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
There it is.
I'm doing good, man. Like I was telling you off the air, like I'm been listening to WWE radio a lot this week, listening to all different opinions on SummerSlam and the matches and the build and everything. And I know for you, this is summer mid, but I've gotten even more hyped this week than I was last week.
Good.
You know, I was already excited for the show. I was hyped about a lot of the matches. And throughout the course of the week, like the anticipation is building to where in, just a few hours, we'll be watching it, reacting to it, calling it, producing it.
Damn it.
And then come Sunday afterwards, we'll be discussing it afterwards. We'll be doing the shenanigans on Sunday instead of Saturdays. Broadcast note, we'll definitely remind you guys throughout, but we will be doing Sunday shenanigans instead of Saturday shenanigans.
Yep.
That way we can talk about both nights of SummerSlam
as a whole
at once, instead of just talking about one night and then having to wait a week to talk about the other night.
Ugh.
But
that freaking nightmare.
But man, I'm stoked. So in the words of No DQ's resident big baller, let's get this thing rolling, baby.
I acknowledge the OBG1 all the time. And I also acknowledge the MVPs, the VIPs, the biggest bringers to the expenses of my dignity more times than over, but still have nothing but love and admiration for them, especially because one saved lives. The other one tries to figure out virtual murder mysteries. We have both the Dominguez joining us this evening. So first and foremost, the actual lifesaver, Arlene, bit of moment. Good to see you. How are you? How are you feeling about SummerSlam?
To be honest, I'm like, meh. I've actually like
all about honesty here.
Yeah, I actually was kind of watching SmackDown, but I mean, like, it's because our AC, we've been trying to fix our AC right now, so we're in the process of that. So I really didn't get to see the whole thing. I saw parts of it, but that's it. But Raw, I kind of missed it. I just know what my friend told me that happened is what had happened, and yeah, I haven't really been watching as much. But I'm like, meh. Hopefully the card pays off, and because honestly, like, I haven't really been into it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
All right, that's fair. And I will say this, as one is most optimistic, I am the most indifferent outside anything but wrestling. Your expectations are what you set them, and you hope that they exceed them. And overall, like I said, there's good in everything, there's bad in everything. But let's have a good time and have a fun conversation instead of predicting. Damn it. And if we want to roast like we're one of the late night hosts, I am officially Noah Ferguson, so shit might go off the rails. Stay tuned, folks. That being said, that in mind, apparently that laugh made it being Statboy approved, and it would not be a statistical analysis without another statistician on the panel, too. Good to have Statboy Mike on the call for City Predicting, and maybe further things to come. Statboy, Avatar Man, how are you this evening? How you feel about SummerSlam?
Well, at first, I was getting ready to spend every dollar I had on SummerSlam because I initially wanted Oba and Robin for the belts, but, we just have to bring in Hell in a Cell, so we have to have that final rubber match between Oba and Brock. I will be strutting along with you guys tomorrow and Sunday, since I'm taking a break from ride sharing. We'll discuss that tomorrow. As far as the event itself, I can agree a little bit with Arlene there. They're stacking the deck again, and I can also agree with Mr. Reliable on this whole 2-night thing. I get it that SummerSlam is one of the four horsemen of WWE PLEs. I get it,
right?
But there's only so much you can do. I mean, you don't want to have a 6-hour, 12-match card. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up like AEW. You got to do something to bring up the fans and everything. So that's why they go 2 nights. But it's not Sunday yet. But I'm starting my rant early, folks.
Simmer for now with that. That being said, it's all about pleasures and intros for right now, brother.
Okay,
Tranquilo.
fine. Okay, fine. Gotcha.
I'm about to say, let's keep a stable mindset here. Let's keep right now things on fair or neutral. All right, we haven't gotten into the danger zone yet. Let's
put it in neutral. Okay, fine, because I'm in a car anyway. Gotcha. Go ahead.
That's why I said that. For
Good
those
idea.
that don't know. All right, well, that being said, he's not in a car, but he's parked in for the night as always. Emmanuel Dominguez of Interactive Games and Movies, bringing his own analysis here. So, Emmanuel, we'll find out who done it later in a game of Cluedo, but how are you, my friend? How you feel about SummerSlam?
I'm doing good. I'm pretty excited for the card. Some matches, like any AEW, like should have been on Raw, should have been on SmackDown, but it is the card And let's see if I use my Only Mania card
Oh, bloody hell.
that I bought from the top. If you want to buy your Only Mania card, it's available now.
That's right. Link in the description, and the video is on YouTube.
Thank you for that cheap plug and endorsement. All right. Well, that being said, folks.
Let me just say before we continue, that looks good on you, Emmanuel.
I know some people will say I'm conceited, self-centered with this shirt, but I am.
Solo shot. Show it off a little bit more. There we go.
Bloody hell.
The official Emmanuel card T-shirt.
I'd buy that for $1.
Don't show up in work wearing that. That's all I got to say. I don't think that's corporate appropriate. All right, thank you,
Nick,
Manuel.
I'm not going to bring that comment up because I'm sure we're going to say his name normally throughout the course of the show, so we'll save the gimmick for that.
Keep the Canadian with half a brain that overkills gimmicks off screen right now and across the border before I ban him from the chat. I'm not in the mood for any crap. Simple as that. All right, that being said, I was in pleasant mood, and then you did that whole thing. I just had to show his ass.
I just had to point it out because I didn't want him to think we're hating by not bringing up his comments, but one of the matches on the show is Danhausen Dom. Danhausen and that gentleman had a segment on Raw that was very controversial, so I'm sure we'll be saying his name when we get to that match organically. Right. So let's just wait on that, Nick. Okay, let's not rush to the shtick.
Yeah, about to say, there's a reason you don't run through a red light, you freaking idiot. All right, good job. Now let's go ahead and get into things that I always like to do. Like I said, it is mid. Because some of this is like, what are we doing? And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is sudden. And then you got face and face, heel and heel. Where's the balance? You just put more salt on salt versus salt and pepper together. What are we doing here? Someone's going to have a sodium attack. Maybe me. Then again, I'm already on blood pressure medicine. But still going to have fun with this regardless because that's the way I live through this business for the best of times, for the worst of times. And I can go into juxtapositions all night and maybe puns because Walter is rubbing off on me. Also, damn you. But without further ado, City Predicting Panel, City Predicting Community, Simple Level Studios, and No DQ Galaxy, sports entertainers, enthusiasts, and hardcore fans galore, and everyone else in between, including the weird Canadians. Let's get right into it. So once again, this is SummerSlam. It'll be available exclusively on ESPN Unlimited. We will, of course, not be going 3 hours live before the damn show because we're not that nut and foots. We are going to go live probably a quarter before the actual start. That'll be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on each night. Again, if you want to watch along, you got ESPN Unlimited, or you could use us as that blind conduit for your engagement and your entertainment. Again, say yeah to us and no DQ, and stay tuned for Aaron Ritt's review. And as JJ also echoed, our closing weekend shenanigans, recapping the entire festivities. We got 6 matches on tap for each night. We're going to go right down the line in order. And for the bigger ones, everyone will say their piece. For other ones, we are going to leave it to a opening ballot and then a agree or disagree, because not all 12 of these matches deserve a conversation longer than even 5 minutes. But that being said, Walter Cruz, let's go ahead and get right into your fatal influence, because we're going to kick things off with the women. Ladies first. As Nikki Bella's back in in-ring action, Nikki Bella teams up with her sister, Brie Bella, and Paige, the former WWE Tag Team Champions. Taking on Jessie Jane, Laney Reed, and Fallon Henry. Fatal influence, of course, 2/3. They are the brand new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions after seizing the gold at Saturday Night's main event. And, of course, with Jessie Jane's help after they tried to pull tomfoolery twice, but it didn't work this time. And Nikki Bella, again, was the catapult to Paige's homecoming that led to the WTF of Paige and Brie having quite a run, actually, with the tag straps. That being said, there could be something else forward out of this match beyond golden intentions, if you catch my drift. All right, without further ado, let's go to Walter Cruz to kick things off. Hello, Amano. So what's your thoughts on this women's the 6-woman tag team match? I call it a trios match because it's less print. It's also easier to say. Just saying. What do you think? What side you got winning here? Go for it.
If I'm being honest, out of all the matches that are scheduled, I think this one's the most predictable. I think Fatal Influence is retaining, and I think it's more about the aftermath because I think the Bella twins are going to turn on Paige, and they're going to go heel, and then Paige is going to go solo on her way because Nikki's going to blame her for stealing the tag title, stealing her spotlight, being with her sister, got on this run, and she had to She had to deal with it while she was injured, and she never got to defend those titles, and she couldn't keep it long enough for her to come back, for her to defend it with her sister. They're gonna blame Paige. They might not turn on this night. They might wait a couple of weeks, but I say do it there. So I think it's more about the aftermath. So retention, but Bella's are gonna turn on Paige.
So you got Fatal Influence winning this trios match. All right. Well, with that angle aside, this is just a 6-woman tag. No golds on the line. But Walter has set up for Fatal Influence for the win. Now, does anybody, and I mean the opposite of that, does anybody have a disagreement in Fatal Influence succeeding? Going once.
Disagree.
What? Really? All right, Stat Boy, go ahead, claim your piece. Why you got the Bellas and Paige winning with Fatal Influence are the future, and the future needs to be now in this women's division. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I agree with the storyline that Mr. Reliable just said. I can see a turn. I can see a sneak attack. My only disagreement is let them win first and then save it for night 2 or maybe even Raw. So I will agree with everything but the outcome of the match. The turn will happen, but I don't see it happening tomorrow night. That's all.
All right, fair enough. Well, hey, it's 50-50, so there you go, folks. You got both sides of the coin, but it sounds like to me the biggest X factor is where's Paige alignment going to be? Because Fatal Influence, they aren't breaking up with each other. I guarantee you that. They're not that crazy this soon, I would hope. Damn it. Considering that Jade is NXT and that was the only realistic women's faction that was actually giving us any steam, not named Judgment Day in this company. So, yeah, but also I think Fatal Influence needs the win. They just got the straps. They're the newest thing on the scene. You need to stop relying on the time capsule. I'm just saying. Jade, I do see your hand. What you got to say real quick before I move on. And I also will tell what the Galaxy said, too.
Yeah, Fatal Influence, I'm not disagreeing on that. Just to further the angle here, because we always talk about it here on Shenanigans and on Simply Predicting.
Damn it.
What is one thing that WWE is seriously lacking depth in and is being represented in this match?
Women.
Specifically?
Women tag teams.
So the Bellas turn on Paige. Who's been missing since WrestleMania that could return to align with Paige and form another team?
Who am I missing?
Yes, it creates another nostalgia act, but AJ Lee has been MIA and has history with Paige.
Yeah.
Both as a team and as rivals.
The last tag match that AJ Lee and Paige had was against the Bellas, and they won.
So, history, run it back.
I see what you did there. Not playing that.
No, definitely. We don't need to yeet. And you know, pew pew, we'll get to that later. But again, I just wanted to add to the story because if the Bellas turn on Paige, someone's got to come help her.
And considering
It's
her
not
husband.
going to be Fatal Influence.
No.
So who would be the person to come and help Paige?
I like
We're
that.
going to light it up.
I like that extra angle, and I wouldn't mind seeing her on my screen again. And also considering where her husband is, it also makes sense they'd be traveling together. All right, fair food for thought. That being said, again, y'all opinions matter too. Before I move on, I want to give a shout out to the 29 of you that have submitted your predictions in, include but not limited to members of Team ODQ like Matthew, Jerry, Big Baller G, we acknowledge him, the Rocket, David, TJS, well, he's professional at something, Steve-O, Cass, Colin, damn it. And my fellow horseman, Fearless, Bella, Caitlin, of course, also known as Mrs. Riff. My Canadian friend Kimberly, amongst others. Again, folks, you have till 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday afternoon, to finalize your predictions for the entire weekend. Not a minute later, no changes after. And that being said, it is a majority for Fatal Influence, 18-11, 62% versus 37%. So clearly, people are investing in the future, and they're over the Fearless era. All right, good deal. Let's go. Yeah, Emmanuel, I do see your hand. What you got to say real quick before I move on?
Yeah, if Triple H books this for the Bellas and Paige to win, like it's the wrong direction, and we need to stop doing the rookies lose to the Barons. We need to stop that.
Fair
If
enough.
not, we're never gonna make new stars.
You gotta pay it forward somehow. And that being said, how many more times does everyone's favorite person, with everybody saying
L.A. Knight?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, JJ. As we segue into the other six-man tag team match, because why the frick not? Might as well be the first hour. It is the Megastar versus Sikoa, who I did not know this dude could have this much character as a babyface. Damn. And Royce Isaacs teaming up in trios actually against Bloodline. What version are we on right now? I lost count. Jimmy and Jay Uso and Fatu in a six-man tag team match. All right, straight up, players. We've been seeing the Bloodline, of course, continuing forward in their commanding ways at the expense of everybody else. At one point, they asked Sikoa to maybe come into the family. Fatu, now the new heavy for Roman, or the new Solo, if you're looking at it that way. And the Usos back in that comfort zone where Roman says he doesn't want them to serve him. He wants them beside him. Now, have they all been equals, or is it still more of the same that was like 1,400 days in the bygone era? Just saying, as JJ might want to pull out the phaser again at the end of this. But that being said, I look at it like this before I give it to JJ to kick things off, because I acknowledge you and you're right next to your bruv. We need something, not to overkill a gimmick, but something to oppose the Bloodline, for Pete's sake. And it's got to be stars of merit. There's got to be roots connected to it. There's got to be a numbers game to try and go up against it. So right now, we got these three, and Roman, versus these three that might be a foil, considering how many times two of these men have dealt with these three men. And Royce Isaacs, for what it's worth, it's his first PLE since the Royal Rumble, so good to see him here. But let's go ahead and see what JJ thinks about this six-man tag. And yes, bro, due to our conversation, special accountability, I am writing down your predictions. JJ, do you still have the Bloodline, considering their winning ways, as they usually do under, let's call it is, any type of affair? Or do you see LA Knight, Sikoa, and Royce Keys upsetting them? We saw what happened Monday night on Raw, kind of dead even. They did neutralize Fatu afterwards, but he still was standing on his feet, so really neither team has like momentum going into this. Much like Mike's phone that might be blowing up in his car. Go ahead, JJ, your pick on this match.
Well, I still acknowledge my tribal chief.
As we all do.
I still acknowledge the Bloodline. But when it comes to this match, I have 6 letters, 2 words. Pew, pew. I've got Royce Keys, not Royce Isaacs, Solo Sikoa, and L.A. Knight. Yeah. Picking up the victory here.
All right, and that's not an insult. That's just JJ's prediction for tonight. All right, let's go around the horn.
That's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Well, let's see if everyone yes or if someone says nope. That being said, it's for LA Knight and Company. Does anyone disagree? Going once?
Disagree.
All right, well, you disagreed last time, so Walter will say his piece this time because he hasn't had a counter argument. So, Walter, why do you disagree, and why are you going with the Bloodline?
I'm not sure if I trust Solo fully. And I think that he got over as a face, but he might still be an undercover agent. But I think that might have been the original plan, but now that he's getting over, they might pull it back and say, we need to keep you face for a little while, and then JJ would be right. But for some reason, I don't fully trust them. I feel like the Bloodline is going to win this. And for Roman to end up well, I don't want to spoil my prediction, but you got to make the entire Bloodline strong, look strong. Like, why would Roman keep carrying lackeys that are going to keep losing behind him? Like, eventually that'll cause a rift, not Aaron, in the Bloodline. So I just feel like the Bloodline needs a little more. I'm just trying to think who the hell will take the fall. I guess Solo would take the fall out of all of them, but I don't know. He might be an undercover agent. I don't trust Solo fully.
Well, considering his past, I don't blame where you really try to take everything the tribal chief was and had. But again, does the past repeat, or does someone build a new future? How you'll know. All right, with that being said, nice counter argument. Before I give it Arlene for further thoughts, I will tell y'all right now, according to the 29 that I've submitted, it is 2-1 percentage-wise in favor of, damn it, the Bloodline. The Bloodline right now at 65% versus Royce Keys. By the way, thank you for that, JJ. Botch on my part. I'm tired, folks. Give me a break. It's late here in the Midwest. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. And 35%, of course, in favor of Royce Keys. I fixed the name. LA Knight and Sikoa. Before I move on, Arlene, what do you want to add to what was heard out of these two? And what side are you on?
I want LA Knight and Solo and Royce to win. But talking about who we shouldn't be trusting, I don't know if we should be trusting Jacob. He seems to be doing his things on his terms. So if anyone should be questioning about their loyalty, I think I would be more about questioning Jacob Fatu's loyalty than Solo Sikoa's loyalty. If I'm being honest, at least that's my opinion. I think I would question more Jacob because he seems to be doing his own thing where he's like, I'm not following your guys' orders, at least the Usos' orders, so he's following Roman's orders. But who's to say that maybe Roman's tired of the Usos always losing and getting rid of them and just creating his own faction, which is Jacob Fatu. Just saying. You can still have the bloodline, but get some people who are dead weight out and create a better bloodline.
All right, Arlene, that's food for thought, looking at both sides here. And JJ, I did see your hand up real quick. I acknowledge because you did start things off as we move on from this match with your close-in post remark following that. Again, it does sound like we're sensing an imposter among us on both sides here that could affect the result and could affect particularly the bloodline as we know it. So with that in mind, what do you want to add before we move on to our next match?
I was just going to remind Arlene, don't forget that Jacob is there because he lost to Roman. Not because he wants to be there. He's there because he's forced to be there. So that plays into why he acts the way he acts, because he doesn't really want to be there.
Or does he? How much does he like this power? Things to think about. There might be more than meets the eye. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, that being said, I do know this. I'm still going to go with LA Knight, Royce Keys. Got to get used to that. And Solo Sikoa for the win. If nothing else.
Powerhouse Hobbs. Shit.
Well, I mean, I would, but
Powerhouse.
To the people that only know WWE, I respect them if they only know him by that name. They're like, who's this guy? His name is Royce Keys. Just saying. But yeah, I could give you all the history, and maybe I will do that during this match on our call tomorrow. Stay tuned. All right, that being said, I like the fact so far these trios matches have had polarizing arguments. I think we'll also have a polarizing argument, whether you cry a river or look to the sky, will be the Women's Heavyweight Championship. So let's talk about Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship. Of course, Io Sky ascended to be Queen of the Ring. And as far as we know, Liv Morgan, she might be cursed. Pretty much, though, ever since Night of Champions, we've seen this back and forth of Io Sky, Liv Morgan attacking each other. So much to the point they really have gone after one another on multiple occasions. That Io Sky's involvement against Soruka and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Intercontinental Championship and Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez's interference, it allowed Raquel to win the gold. So 2/3 of the women of Judgment Day are currently champions, and they're the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I think that's some crazy stuff. Now, whether or not you still call one Kevin Nash, the other one Shawn Michaels, that remains to be seen. But Roxanne Perez might be an X factor. And again, it took both women of Judgment Day getting involved on Liv Morgan's behalf for Liv Morgan to win this title back at WrestleMania against Stephanie Valkyrie, and she has not defended it since on television. But that in mind, as we approach WrestlePalooza and Arlene's phone blew up, it's also one of those things that last year it was Stephanie and Io that determined a vacated WWE Women's Heavyweight Championship after Naomi got pregnant. Congrats to her and congrats to Bianca Belair. Hope both of them are doing extremely well. With Cinema Kirby announced since WrestleMania, that also be an unfinished business ever since that heated face-to-face, and we haven't seen La Primera since. Is that the plan? Does Stephanie Valkyrie come back for revenge? Does she wait till after the fact? Does Judgment Day get involved on Liv Morgan's behalf? Again, or does the genius of the sky rise to the occasion and ultimately be the biggest babyface of Monday Night Raw? again, since Mommy isn't there. They have not been the same since they went to different brands. But SmackDown needed some sort of foundation, and they're still looking for it. Talk more about that later. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. I think it's only fitting because it's a women's championship match. We literally start with the queen of SRS, outside Ash, and, of course, Tatilla. Arlene, you're on the bubble. Liv Morgan or Io Sky? Where does Judgment Day fall for you and your prediction on this championship match tomorrow night?
If anyone says Liv Morgan, I'm going to be questioning you why. It's Io. Move on. Let's move on to the next match because I don't see Liv Morgan winning this match. Thank you.
Okay. Continue.
That was it.
Wow.
Io's winning. Liv's losing. She hasn't defended. If I'm going to rant about something, I'm just going to rant about something really quick. Liv has so many people that she's pissed off. And out of the 100 days that she's had the title, they couldn't get the people that she's pissed off already. Alexa Bliss, she eliminated her from the Royal Rumble. Nikki Bella, she's attacked her. You're telling me you couldn't get anybody to face Liv Morgan in those 100 days? That's my rant.
And that rant was probably Statboy approved, I had to guess. Thank you, Arlene. Okay. I love raw emotion here. That's why I do cinema dictating, so people can speak freely about what they truly mean without being on someone's payroll or being judged here, damn it. Thank you, Arlene. That being said, the opening ballot was for Io Sky, new champion. Now, since this is a bigger marquee match because it is a world title, I do think if everyone has different thoughts or a different polarizing prediction, they should say their piece. Now, Emmanuel, I did see your hand. I already see you nodding your head. It sounds like you're either agreeing with her or disagreeing with her, so I figure we'll do the Arlene's first, then see if anyone else has anything to add. So, Emmanuel, do you agree with your sister? Yes, folks, they're siblings. Or do you counter-argue that and have Liv Morgan retaining?
No, I actually agree with my sister.
That's a rarity.
Yeah, that's a rarity. But I gotta say this, like, that'd be an interesting story to see once Raquel was the only one holding the title. Does Liv lose her spot as the leader of the Judgment Day, or is Liv gonna still be in control? That's the narrative I want to see this coming SummerSlam. If not, then this is just a waste of time.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Subscribe to Data Son Gozuku's YouTube channel. Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, that being said, the ballot has been opened, though, for Io Sky new champion. Does anyone have an opposite prediction before we move on? Because it sounded like this was pretty simple. Going once.
Disagree.
Going, really? The same two people. This is interesting. Well, Walter, you disagreed first last time, so Statboy, you can disagree first this time. So why do you have Liv Morgan retaining?
Because she has been featured in WWE Unreal Season 3, which I have been watching on Netflix. Shameless plug. Here's the thing. Although it is true... Yeah, exactly. Although it is true and very well said on the rant, Arlene, well done, and well said on the stat work and all that. You're doing my job better than I am. God bless you for that. Here's the thing. She is going to hold on to that title. I love Io. Io is a great superstar. She's an even greater champion, but I don't think she needs the title right now. Now, if you want to be the cheap way out and do the dusty finish or whatever, or have Io win by DQ, that's something else. But that's not in play here. I'm saying that Liv keeps the belt by way of shenanigans, or by some miracle she hits Oblivion and puts Io through something. It would not be right for her to lose the belt, leaving only one women's title in Judgment Day. So there's that as well. I think she's probably going to hold on to it till about Survivor Series. Then, of course, by then, if she's cleared and if she's back, Mommy will get her title back from Liv. So Liv's going to hold on to it. They're not going to play Mommy versus Io for a belt. It's not going to happen. Mommy has too much love for Io, so Liv's going to hold on to it for a while.
Love hurts is all I gotta say.
Opposite brands though. Mommy's coming back to SmackDown, not Raw.
Exactly. I was also going
They'll figure a way. They'll figure a way.
Brand split, LOL.
Thank you, JJ. But, sometimes I like to try and give them the benefit of the doubt because that's the reason we follow the business. All right, well, Walter, what you got to add beyond that? To Step Boy's point, then, JJ, I did see you for a moment. I think you also want to say something.
I've been bouncing. I've been bouncing back and forth with this. I officially picked EO initially, but I think I'm switching to Liv because WWE had when they got a thought in their head, they just don't want to listen to fans. They want to keep it. I got the weird feeling that they want to hold off until Stephanie Victoria is ready to come back so she can get her revenge on EO. And it won't be the same without the title. No, it won't need the title, just like Roman and Rock wouldn't. But I just feel like Stephanie's been out a while. And I saw her at the Comic Cons. I saw her she's not wobbling or anything. I think she may be close to being ready to come back. Yeah. So I think they're going to let her retain the title so that maybe the next night on Raw, or wait, this is Saturday or Sunday?
It's Saturday.
Oh, so the 2 days from then, Raw, maybe Stephanie can interrupt the Judgment Day celebration because they're going to celebrate the IC title win and they're going to celebrate retention, and then Stephanie could come out on Raw because you don't want too many returns at SummerSlam because I'll save it for later, but I think something's going to happen with the Sami Finn Balor thing, and you don't want two big pop returns in the same event.
All right, fair enough. I will just say this. Let's not leave Roxanne Perez out of this conversation because I've been waiting for Roxanne to finally break away and become a singles champion since she left NXT, and I'm going to leave it at that.
We got Money in the Bank.
Well, I'm trying to hold out for that.
I'm getting there, Walter. I'm getting there.
Let the master chef cook because I bet JJ is thinking like me because believe it or not, folks, no matter how much we disagree, once in a blue moon, there actually is an agreement. Before I let JJ speak,
I think he's thinking like me too. I already know what's going to
the top row, the three wise men of SRS. Go figure. That being said, JJ, before I give it to you to close things out here, you want to know how polarizing this match is? It's almost 50-50. In favor of the challenger in 51% versus the champion at 49%. That's how 50-50 this match is. So, JJ, with that statistic out there and all the thoughts you heard, what do you want to say in closing before we move on? And again, Stephanie, Roxanne, Judgment Day, Domination, the ongoing act running longer than freaking My Chemical Romance tour, it feels like. What do you got to say? Are you passing judgment here on Judgment Day? Prematurely. Or go ahead. What do you got to say?
This is one of the matches that I was the most torn on.
I think most people were.
As you pointed out, 51-49 in the universe, the galaxy.
Yep.
I originally was looking at this match and wondering where was it going to be placed. Because I felt like placement was key for everything.
Right.
And then we discovered this is on Saturday. Dominic Danhausen is on Sunday.
Correct.
So I'm a touch a little bit on that in touching on this because I feel like it's a point counterpoint situation.
Go ahead.
Once Dom wins, because I feel like Dom is going to beat Danhausen, get his human monies back, then the curse is broken on the Judgment Day. Because he tried to pay the money to get uncursed, didn't work. So in theory, A-Town down. But in theory, by winning his money back, Judgment Day would be decursed. Then Liv could retain. The curse isn't going to be broken yet. So Liv lose. But then there's Money in the Bank and Roxanne Perez. And Roxanne cashing in on Liv as Raquel is still Intercontinental Champion makes for a great story.
Yes.
But an even better story is Io winning the title, Rhea returning at the Rumble and winning, finally defeating Io at Mania to get her belt back, because Rumble can challenge for any title.
Correct.
That's how you move her from SmackDown back to Raw.
Hey, W, are you listening to JJ? Are you listening to JJ? He's still wanting to be hired. Continue.
And then Roxanne pull a Seth Rollins heist of the century and take the belt from Rhea when she's defeated Io.
Damn. Look at you, Mr. Advanced Booker. Retconning for the women.
So you've got Io defeating Liv, Rhea conquering her demon, the demon in her dreams, the unbeatable Io Sky, only for it to be taken right out of her fingertips again.
I love that. I really love that. And then
So
that is worthwhile.
put me down officially for the genius of the sky.
JJ, I wasn't thinking that
Despite
far.
despite the fact that I'm sitting on Liv's face literally as we speak right now. So
We didn't think alike because
I do have a Liv Morgan blanket.
I was thinking the opposite way. You have Roxanne win the Money in the Bank. Obviously, Liv is going to assume she's going to wait to cash it on whoever the interim or the actual champion is. She's going to keep pushing Roxanne. Oh, we can't wait for you to cash it in. And instead of doing that, she's going to cash it in on Liv and win the title off Liv. That's why I feel like you keep it on Liv, and Roxanne can break away from the group and be the star she should be. That they're not letting her be, and I think you do it that way. But either way, Roxanne should be the Money in the Bank winner, if not Chelsea Green.
Well, we're going to talk more about that later in a ladder match where I only care about one participant, but I think my business mind is going to be with who brings the most money. But anyway, Emmanuel, I love the fact, by the way, that we were able to get everybody to say something about the Women's World Championship. Yeah, there's two. All right, it's been about 40 minutes. I'll allow it. Emmanuel, we got to say real quick before I move on, because I'm just going to say this. I'm going with Io Sky. I need a champion that fights. Liv Morgan, let's see her lose her damn mind and her extensions. Truly go off the deep end, worse than Lindsay Lohan when she was on a bender. And let's freaking see what happens when Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Io Sky are fighting over this championship or Money in the Bank. And Money in the Bank also gets involved in this championship. But that's my take. Emmanuel, we got to say real quick before I move on.
Two things. Missed opportunity for WWE. The Queen of the Sky, Io Sky. Come on, WWE. You had a player and you did not capitalize it on a teacher. Shame on you, WWE. Creative. Number two, expect Stephanie and Soroka countering Raquel and Roxanne.
There's the six-woman tag on Raw.
Yeah, six-man woman tag on Raw, and that's how Liv loses the title. She's all left alone.
And she gets her rematch like 2 weeks later. All right, fair enough. Well, Sven apparently is going with Liv. And again, like I said, I don't know if JJ's cooking better than the Swedish chef. Yep, he swayed it. Somehow, all the talk we just did, it's dead even right now, guys. And someone else just put in the predictions. It's 50-50 for this championship match. Good luck to both women.
I just changed I just edited my response now. No, I changed it to Liv because I originally had Io.
What are you saying, JJ?
Look above you.
What? Oh, wow. Well, thank you to the 99 of you. Again, it's about them, not about me, but I just keep going along the typical mean. But thank you, everybody that's tuning in.
100 people watching us predict SummerSlam. Shout out to you for your hard work. What's next, sir?
Well, I think we go from the women to what is pretty much my most excited match of the night. The question is, who's the most traditional when it comes to talking about the ring general Walter, aka Gunther, versus the former SmackDown GM, the National Treasure, and the former NWA World Champion, TNA World Champion. I'm, of course, talking about Nick Aldis. And the first time ever one-on-one matchup. Let's freaking go. All right,
careful.
Straight up.
I'm going to cut you right here. Be careful calling Nick Aldis a national treasure. Nick Cage is going to show up and try to steal him.
Yeah, good luck with that. Mickey James will kick his ass. All right, let's get back to this, shall we? Straight up, though, Nick Aldis, this is the dream. He's been working for this his entire life. Mickey James even has talked about this on multiple interviews with or without him. Recently on the Chris Van Vliet, he knows this is his one big shot. You only got one impression. This might be his last match, especially against somebody called the career killer. The reigning general, Gunther, has been stagnant ever since killing the careers of Oldberg, AJ Styles, and John Cena. Not in that order. Got a win at WrestleMania and came out with butt kiss for the undisputed WWE Championship. Boston, I kind of hope so too, but I also feel like I don't know if you need more, considering, again, what this is in context for the professional wrestling fan or a traditionalist like me. But I'm not going to, just stew over this all night. That's not why we're here. We're simply predicting. If Gunther is going to restore this identity as career killer and bring any merit to him as a championship caliber challenger, he has to defeat the former NWA world champion. I just don't know under what extremes. Do you incapacitate him? Do you take his head off? Do you powerbomb him into oblivion via ref stoppage? Or do you do a shenanigan, dusty finish and somehow get another rubber under some sort of Queensberry rules of boxing, but not boxing? I don't want to say that this match could be throwaway in context because I want it to mean something bigger for both men. For Nick Aldis, I hope he gets everything that he wants. I hope this is the biggest exclamation point in his career. For Gunther, I want to restore back to the ultimate lean general that I know him to be with the undisputed WWE Championship, the one accolade he hasn't had. Straight up, though, I'm going with the ring general, but this is my most exciting match of the night for Saturday night and maybe my match for the weekend because I cannot wait to see how these two men go in a WWE ring to tell a story, but demonstrate why they are two of the best in this game in their craft. Two of the best out of Europe, by the way. Gunther for the win, and I'm saying the ballot at that. Does anyone have anything further to say regarding this? JJ, I do see your hand from one traditionalist to another, because you could also talk about NWA and Nick Aldis' roots, but you also know about the career development of Gunther. What do you got to say regarding this match?
I disagree.
What?
I've got Nick Aldis getting the victory here.
Wow. Do tell.
I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be a quick roll-up. I don't know if it's going to be a disqualification. Maybe Gunther is going to get so furious that he can't put Aldis away that he ends up getting himself disqualified. But I've got Aldis here. And I think it's because of two big reasons. Number one, this isn't going to be the only match. Because if this was going to be a retirement thing, it would be billed as a retirement thing. Also, if Nick loses, he can't just go right back to being SmackDown GM next week.
Correct. He suspended his duties temporarily. Adam Pearce is back to control of both shows.
So if you're going to be suspended of duties for a while, let's make it worth it. And I know we're in Minnesota, not Michigan, but you kind of touched on this when you were giving your little setup. I call this the lose yourself match. This is Nick's one shot, one opportunity to seize everything he's ever wanted in one moment. In front of his family, in front of his kids. This is something that they talked about a lot on WWE radio this week. Nick Aldis, for the career he's had, doesn't have the career that his wife does.
That's correct. A lot of his career was actually kind of suspended, if you actually think about it, during his time.
So this gives him the opportunity to show up and show out in front of his kids. And let his kids see what a badass dad can really be. Not just a smart ass, but a badass.
And the best dressed man.
So I say Nick gets this one. Then we'll get the rematch, which will go to Gunther, of course. But it'll come cheaply. You know, Nick should have had it. Wants one more shot at Gunther. Put the career on the line.
Wow. I didn't think nobody here had the gumption to even think of Nick Aldis, even in a disqualification type setting, because I almost wanted to...
You've got to think about it. Those of us that are in this room right now know about Nick Aldis, the NWA champion.
And he did do some underhand tactics during that run.
We know about Nick Aldis, the TNA world champion.
Magnus.
The man who was thrust into the shoes of AJ Styles when AJ said, "Fuck you, I'm going to New Japan."
Yeah.
That's another thing they talked about. Anybody that got put into that spot when AJ left was going to have a rough run. But somehow Magnus managed to make it work. We know about that man. The Busted Open Army tonight this morning from Minnesota asked the audience live that was there how many people know about Nick Aldis, the wrestler. The majority of them did not know. There is an entire generation that only knows about the suit and tie general manager, that does not know what that man can do when he climbs into the ropes. He's going to show the world. Nick Aldis is getting the dub here.
I will also say on SmackDown tonight, we actually saw a touch of what Aldis can do because he had Gunther trapped momentarily in the cloverleaf before security broke up the altercation with Adam Pearce. So tensions have hit a boiling point here where I almost think this is going to end under submission, and I can't wait. But thank you for that counter argument. Before I move on, and I give it to Arlene to say something here real quick, I will say right now it is in favor of 4-1. 80% have the lean general, while 20% have Nick Aldis. That is 24-6 in the ballot pool right now. And I do think it comes down more to unfamiliarity of Nick Aldis' career in pro wrestling versus the short-term typical exhibition talent standing up to a general manager, even though in this case, they're both kind of heelish. Arlene, I saw your hand. What you guys say real quick before I move on?
In case you didn't see my brother, he said he was going to pick Gunther, but I am with JJ. I feel like Gunther needs this win, but I feel like if you're going to put Nick Aldis in his first match in forever and have him lose, I feel like what was the point of it all, right? So I kind of agree with JJ. I mean, I guess Gunther needs it, and I mean, they've been kind of messing up his run with Gunther anyways. Honestly, I feel like Nick Aldis needs it, Gunther needs it, but right. I feel like Nick needs it the most because he risks being a manager for this match. If he's not gonna win it, what's that say about him? So I feel like JJ said, something's gonna happen that Gunther's gonna lose, and there's gonna be another match after this. Maybe it'll end up being like a best out of 3 kind of match, and where Gunther wins the second one, and then the third one will be solved in the Hell in a Cell match, I feel like. But I'm with JJ. I feel like Nick Aldis needs this a little bit more than Gunther. So
that's fair, and honestly, 2 out of 3 falls would fit both these men and their styles, and truly, I think would dictate who the better wrestler is, because I think Gunther, much like we said with Seth Rollins, wants to prove that Nick Aldis can't lace his boots. It's more than just trying to make him his bitch at this point. It's become personal and professional at the same time, because both these men are so traditional in their style. This is as old school as it gets, especially for British strong style fans like myself. Gunther, one of the best across all promotions in Europe, by the way, just saying. I did see, Statboy, you have a counterpoint to add versus what you've heard. Would you guys say real quick before we move on? Go ahead.
I'm going to say that Gunther is going to win this match. Here's why. It has been stated in sports and in life, sometimes when you lose, you win. It'll be okay if Nick Aldis loses, because in the eyes of the fans, in the eyes of WWE executives, in the eyes of wherever, Nick Aldis stepped into the ring with the ring general and could have taken him to the limits, could have beaten him, could have done a lot of things. It's going to be okay. Here's what Gunther's going to do. Gunther is going to do the good old-fashioned, I beat you, I'm done with you, I want nothing more to do with you, you're done, it's over. Exactly. That is what Gunther does. He is the ring general for a reason. He is a tactical soldier in the ring. He will find a way to pick you apart. He's going to do that in the match. He's going to be methodical about it. He's going to pick apart, and he's going to keep attacking and attacking and attacking. And unfortunately, Nick Aldis is not going to survive. But it's the end game. It's the end result. If you remember, also, John Cena did the same thing when he was in his rookie year. He lost a lot of his matches. Who stepped up and shook his hand? The Undertaker. Cena ended up winning after that and turning into the Doctor of Thugonomics and everything else. Will the feud continue? Of course it will. It'll be written beautifully. Then Nick Aldis can have his win legitimately. I don't see him making Gunther tap eventually. I do see a quick pin. He'll do something smart-handed to get the win, and then it'll be over. But for now, the ring general stands tall.
Well, all I know is he hasn't had a match since October 2023. And again, Ring Rust truly could be your worst enemy. But Nick Aldis, much like some people in this business, doesn't look like he aged. And he looks like he's built like a freaking tank. And there's no doubt in my mind, every time he's in that suit, he's in the gym. Probably not in suit at the gym. I just feel like, to me, that much like the weird Pat McAfee, there's going to be mutual respect and a handshake, and that's going to be it. Sometimes an employee needs to be humbled by their employer, especially in this wrestling business. If Gunther was ever going to be humble for one moment against somebody with as traditional roots as him in this business, Nick Aldis is that guy. He is that foil. If you don't name either Dragunov, who's been MII for I don't know how long, and I'm still waiting for that match out of the main roster. But again, I love all these different takes with the fact that there is so much expectation in what could come out forward for Nick Aldis versus just Gunther pleading for his next damn title shot. Career killer or not, the Ring General versus the National Treasure, that is professional wrestling to me, damn it, and I can't wait for this. All right, but good job, everybody. I love the fact we did all pick different picks. It wasn't unanimous. I was kind of worried about that with this match, and it really shows how important this is. Now, I will be very, very, very shocked if we think that's unanimous for this, because in hell is there heaven for one Oba Femi? Or does he get annihilated and conquered by the beast, Brock Lesnar? Because it's Brock versus Oba 3 inside Hell in a Cell. All right, the story writes itself. WrestleMania, he retired. Not Clash in Italy, Brock Lesnar. It took 7 at 5, but he did beat the ruler. Since then, it's been a game of chicken. It's been a game of insults. It's been a game of, you would think there's a restraining order against these two men. Oba Femi got tired of running, called him a coward, called him a bitch. Now Brock Lesnar has a new shirt. Talk shit, get hit, but he hasn't hit him since that first shot below the belt in the uprights for a former Shot Put champion. This past Monday night on Raw, we saw the Hell in a Cell. We had a weigh-in. I don't give a damn about the weight. The weight is indifferent here. It's the tension. It's the importance. It's the future of the business. Damn it. And that being said, Oba Femi was locked inside the cage by Brock Lesnar and Paul, blah, 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 blah. Both men flipped each other off. Brock walked up the entranceway while Oba Femi destroyed fake policemen, because if you do that, you're going to get freaking taken to jail. I don't think a felony is going to occur here, but I will say this. I'm going to take Statboy's job real quick, because guess who's going to start off this match? It's going to be you, Emmanuel, because you haven't started one yet. There have been 2 Hell in a Cell matches in Brock Lesnar's career. This will mark his 3rd. Those 2 were against The Undertaker. He won both of them. We are here in Minnesota, the stomping grounds of what was the Beast Incarnate, all collegiate, all-around amateur wrestling, NCAA athlete, on this university campus alongside the likes of Shelton Benjamin. This is not about the Vikings going to the Super Bowl. This is about Oba Femi being secured as the future of WWE and adding more of a taste of things to come following the WrestleMania post-scrum, if you get what I mean. Talk more about that later. So that being said, does Oba Femi finally rule over the Beast Incarnate once for all inside the Devil's Playground? Or does Brock Lesnar remind Oba Femi you are nothing more but a mortal, even inside the Devil's favorite structure? Emmanuel, you kick things off, and damn fucking right one's going to say something about this, I feel like. Because when it comes to Oba Femi, I'm going to say this right now. Not that I'm going to be the devil on Emmanuel's shoulder. If Oba Femi loses, we blink. Emmanuel, it's on you. Do you have Oba Femi or Brock Lesnar and Oba versus Brock 3 winning the rubber and maybe finally playing one or the other to rest in their freaking future endeavors once and for all?
Man, how did he screw up this plan with Gunther? I mean, he became the career killer, and then they fumbled it and lost in the 10-yard line before the touchdown, if you get that reference. But
I'm going to throw a flag at you if you don't get back to this match real quick.
Yeah, save it for the sports bar in 2 weeks.
The cheap plug. Continue, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Yeah, that
Again,
was the cheap
sports
plug.
indifferent, wrestling invested. Continue.
That was a cheap plug for Mike for the Sunday Night Football. Anyways,
Thank you. Go on.
Yes, it's gonna be Oba Femi who's gonna win this. There's no reason for Brock Lesnar to win this. It'd be a shock and befuddling if he does win. Then his career is gonna keep going. Like at this point, still become a part timer. What was the point of Oba winning the WrestleMania only one time? It'd be a huge setback for Oba Femi. Let Oba Femi finish this feud because we're done. We're fed up with the storyline as well. There's no heat, sadly, because Brock is buried there, and he's more of a coward than the beast that we know that he used to be. So, sadly, sorry, Brock Lesnar, you're gonna retire on Sunday, right? Or is it Saturday?
It's Saturday.
Okay. On tomorrow, you're going to be retiring. And I hope you enjoy your time with your wife, Sable, and that farm that you have, and never come back. And leave his history in the memory because he did it all. He defeated the Undertaker's streak, and that's what we got to remember most of him by, how he did for the industry and how he conquered it so young and so fast, so dominant that we can go, man, do you remember when Lesnar killed John Cena that night? I do. I still watch that match over and over again.
So does Pepperidge Farm, but that being said, don't open a time capsule because you don't ride in a DeLorean. You got Oba Femi basically winning this and retiring the beast permanently?
Yes.
All right. Good man. About to say, if I give Emmanuel the mic, he's going to go down the entire time when I brought Lesnar that they did in 3 minutes after Paul Heyman cried on screen about how important that beast has been to WWE and to that man's namesake as a friend. Again, the king of pops, the king of moments, kayfabe, octane. Why Paul Heyman doesn't have an Emmy? Figure it out, Hollywood. Okay, he has a little bit Femi winning. Now, look, I don't think anybody here, even drunk, is going to say Brock Lesnar's going to win this. But I do think we all have our own justification on why Oba Femi has to win this. Because of the potential and because of the what if of what we think the next big thing in WWE is. Yay, this is your NXT. This is proof whether or not your NXT actually builds the future. Just saying. I'm going to you next to get your thoughts on this. When it comes to Brock Lesnar, he's the guy that you just can't seem to put down. He's bigger than the boogeyman. He's more immortal than freaking Hulk Hogan. I said what I said. That being said, Brock Lesnar, though, for all it's worth, he does get back to the business. When it comes to profit, he has a special attraction. Now we got him inside Hell in the Cell for the first time in years against a person that literally could be a rival or an equal. But again, how many times do you run it back in such a short span, call yourself retired, and you're not retirement, LOL, in this wrestling business, before you pretty much make the future feel like nothing more but a dusty relic in the present? What do you got to say regarding this Hell in the Cell match?
This is going to be epic.
I do agree about that.
This is one of the matches I am most looking forward to this weekend.
I do agree about that.
I don't want this to be a quick match.
I do agree about that.
But it doesn't have to be an overtly long match either.
Mm-hmm.
This match should go about 12 to 15 minutes.
I'm looking for the 15-minute soft spot, if I'm being honest with you. Bell to bell. Continue.
Yeah. But neither man should go down right away. Whoever wins, it should take multiple finishes to get them. I'm looking for some kind of holy shit moment. You know, I wouldn't say the ring collapse, because I feel that's been a little bit overdone, and this isn't going to be the last match.
We've also seen the cell broken through, by the way, too. So,
but I feel like we haven't seen that as recently.
True.
Like, I would like to see, and I know like a spear is a played out trope or something, but maybe have one side of the cell or one panel of the cell weaker, and have Brock go to like suplex Oba and they crash through, and have part of it fall like on the entrance ramp.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
You know, the rest of that side stay up so it doesn't fall on the fans, but just that one panel that would be perfectly aligned with the entrance ramp so it can fall right on the ramp. So everyone can be like, oh shit, they destroyed part of the cell.
If the entrance is wider, I think you already might get your wish.
I mean, we are talking about a stadium.
Exactly.
Not just an arena, so.
Exactly.
This could all be factored in already, but to the point, it's like, if Brock wins, and I'm not picking Brock, obviously I have Oba. I think everybody does.
I wrote Oba down before we got here.
But if Brock wins, and then he disappears, what was the point in Brock winning? Even if he comes back for WrestleMania at Saudi, because the Saudis are going to pony up money for Brock,
of course,
what's the point of him winning and not being seen until Mania?
None.
If Brock wins and Oba surrendered his title opportunity for this, what was the point in surrendering the title opportunity just to lose? Oba has to take this. If I had the pin, I would have a double pin. 1, 2, Brock's hand slips off of Oba. The count comes down for 3. Oba still covers Brock. Yeah, it was that close. You know, both men collapsed on the ring, arm over each other, but they're so battered, maybe bloody, sweaty, that Brock's hand slides off of Oba as the 3 comes down so that he's no longer covering Oba.
I love that. JD, I'm going to be real with you. As you know, I'm a Shinyan Pro Wrestling fan. I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just saw one of the damnedest matches I can remember. There's a guy named Yuto Ice that likes to get on what he calls a pro wrestling high. He will literally let his body be configured into human beef to test his mental. And he tested it against the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Yota Tsuji. He slapped the fucking shit out of this man for 25 minutes, and still they brutalized each other to the point they were down for a double count, and Yota Tsuji got up at 9.5 to win the match and immediately collapsed while freaking Ice was still knocked unconscious. I want to see the end of a war, literally, with these two behemoths, kaijus. I want to see bloody, battered, broken, bruised, exhausted to the point you might need a defibrillator to resuscitate one, and maybe they literally cover one man, drapes the arm over, or they don't answer a 10 count. There has to be a definitive decider that Oba Femi is declared the ruler and Brock Lesnar is no longer the beast. The beast has been slain. Not by a beast slayer, not by a phenom, not by some overrated relic of WCW in 1:26. This needs to be the definition of finality or fatality for Brock Lesnar, period. Simple as that. So I gotta see something like that.
And Oba needs to go down in history as the man that beat the man, that put the 1 in 21
and 1. Simple as that. Took the words right out of my mouth. And we know that Femi can speak for himself. Period.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Damn good stuff, JJ. Thank you very much. All right. Well, that being said, it's all over. Walter, is there anything further that you want to add before we move on to what may be night one's main event? Again, I don't know if that was official. Someone on SmackDown. My SmackDown we saw, if you could say the official match card, or if they said, this is official, this is going to close out Saturday night, please let me know, and I'll remove Aaron Riff's freaking man bonus point from the form. That's why it's there, by the way, folks. Aaron Riff's trying to get one up on me because I'm leading. Go figure. Walter, go ahead and say some stuff about this match before we move on, unless the queen of SRS wants to speak.
Oba's going to win, but I think at the end of it, while his music playing, Brock's going to look at himself, and you're going to think he's about to take off his gloves and stuff to retire, but instead, I think he's just going to shake Oba's hand and be like, fuck, you got the best of me, and put Oba over, and you just made Oba the future. Like the fact that Brock humbled himself enough to do this for Cody a couple of years ago. Remember when they had the rivalry, he put Cody over. I think he's going to do it again.
I remember that. Detroit, SummerSlam. Yeah. You are absolutely correct.
He's going to do it again, this time with Oba, and maybe Paul gives him a look like, damn it, and then that's how you get Paul back to go with the vision or something. But I feel like Brock's going to try his damnedest. It's going to be a crazy match. It's going to be back and forth and close, and just Oba's just going to barely win, and everybody's going to think he's going to retire or put his gloves on. Instead, he's going to take one glove off, but it's to shake Oba's hand. It's not to throw it on the canvas, and it's like he's going to put him over and then leave and just like give him the thumbs up or something and leave Oba in the ring by himself to take it all in. And I just feel like you just made the new star.
Wow. That'd be a hell of a visual, especially if he was the one to haul up his dead carcass, because what we want to see is Brock Lesnar laying presently dead in the ring. But I do like that analysis.
Especially if it's if they do make that the main event, that's how you end the pay-per-view. If you end night one with Oba standing tall and Brock like giving him a clap and making him over, like you would have just made this dude, like seriously, he's already over. But just that next rung up, you would have just done it just by doing that.
I'm going to go one up on you. I want to see this go, maybe now with that in mind, WrestleMania 28. They both walk up the entranceway, and Paul Heyman as well with them. The final shot of Brock Lesnar. Goodbye. All right. Well, thank you for that, Walter. Thank you for that, JJ. Thank you for that, everybody. Before we move on to what might be supposedly our main event, I will say right now, it is not unanimous. What the hell are some people thinking? But you know what? Again, crazy things have happened. It's the wrestling business, right? Nothing's 100%, including this. It's 90% favorable of Femi versus 10% favorable of Brock Lesnar. 29 picked the ruler, 3 picked the beast incarnate. So there you go. That being said, ruler versus the beast, the end game, with a bigger budget than the Avengers Infinity War. Well, this is WWE. Maybe not. Either way, this has to be it. Done with this. Goodbye. See you not again. Oba Femi moves on further in his career, ascending to the heavens of possibly the World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe. All right. Good stuff, everybody. With that being said, since we don't know the card order again, I am going to leave the bonus point where it stays. If someone finds out, please let me know in the chat. But let's go ahead and move into the proverbial Saturday night main event. Before we do, I just want to remind people, especially for those that are tuning in, as I now acknowledge the 125 of you. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on all the YouTube outlets you see here. Rage of Wrestling, Cassidy Studios, Aaron Rip YouTube channel, of course, and follow us today at SR Studios 24 on the X. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or pay for the passions. It's as simple as that. Of course, your opinions matter too. The Petition League forum will be in the comment section once the stream concludes at all the YouTube outlets and all my social media, and also on NoDQ social medias on the X and here on YouTube. Let's go ahead and get into our proverbial Saturday night main event, shall we? Because when you need something so badly, when you've already finished a story, is this need bigger than that story? For one person, maybe. And of course, I am talking about everyone's favorite Homelander cosplayer, Cody Rhodes. As CM Punk defends the undisputed WWE Championship against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And this match is not number one contender. This is happenstance. These guys have had their own crossroads in their careers, in ring and outside WWE, mirroring all the way back to when Dusty Rhodes, baby, asked CM Punk to mentor and take care of this young man. Why one went on to go from undesirable to undeniable to fucking undisputed, the voice of the voiceless, the changer in the culture, returned home to WWE in his own second coming in Chicago, and the rest is history there. We have teased this now for 2 years in Royal Rumble, and all it took was one word: win. The win is tomorrow. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, finally in the ring together at the Summer's WrestleMania. Night 1, SummerSlam for the Undisputed WWE Championship. The biggest question here is Cody's need greater than what CM Punk calls himself to be, the best in the world? Tensions continued to escalate on Friday Night SmackDown, but it wasn't really physical as it was just more so a bit of, you're not my friend, da-da-da, you don't like me, da-da-da-da, but when it comes to this championship, this is all that matters because this proves I am the best. And Cody Rhodes admit that. Right now, he's not QB1. He's QB2. We also, of course, saw the integrity of this match kept at Saturday Night's main event where they fed it off Gunther and Sami Zayn thanks to the interference of one Nick Aldis, because this almost was turned into a fatal four-way, or as I like to call it, a clusterfuck. That being said, CM Punk just won this title a couple weeks ago in Chicago against Sami Zayn on a whim after losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and was out indefinitely. And of course, last year at SummerSlam, he won gold and lost it in 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Why Cody Rhodes, he beat the GOAT, John Cena, and won his second Undisputed WWE Championship. So does SummerSlam become the stage of the American Nightmare, or does CM Punk truly prove once and for all against very much his greatest friend and probably greatest rival that he is the best in the world? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think about this. Everyone will say their piece, and since everybody has started a match, and this is number 6, we're going back in the order, which means, Walter, it's on you first. Walter, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, who defines the fall season, not football, as the Undisputed WWE Champion, who loses their mind in the defeat. What lies ahead, besides maybe Finn Balor or Sami Zayn? Stay tuned for our Talk About Sunday. Who needs this more? Is someone being redeemed? Is someone getting revenge? Who leaves Saturday night with the Undisputed WWE Championship? Go ahead.
I think it's going to be a good match, back and forth. I think CM Punk retains, though. Cody doesn't need to keep losing the title, winning it back, losing the title, winning it back. Like,
John Cena did it 16 times
I know. But even sometimes he caught breaks in between it. Not Jesus, like every 3 months that it seems like Cody has the damn title back on him. I just feel like it's Punk, and I feel the bigger question is, are we gonna get the heel Cody? And I feel like it will be teased, but I don't think they want to pull the trigger because we're closer to October and that Street Fighter movie's coming out. And do you really want a heel Cody Rhodes when you're about to promote the hell out of this movie? So that's why I feel like you're not going to get that version of Cody yet. But maybe the Rumbles and Sunday, maybe closer to WrestleMania, you should get that version of Cody. But I don't think you do it now just because that damn Street Fighter movie's coming out. And today on SmackDown, they even played the music from Street Fighter. They played Guile. When you fight Guile in his stage and they showed Cody, they literally played the music that's in the background. I remember that distinctively from Street Fighter. So I feel like they're going to do this inside promoting the hell out of the movie. You know how WWE is. So you can't do that with a heel Cody, but at the same time, people are going to take my words and twist and say, well, that's why you would have him win the title too. He's popular enough to not have to have the title to make a movie bigger than what it is. And plus you have another title and another person that's in the same movie. So
that's fair. And again, if he has a title, he's the superstar apparently. So I guess it does make sense that the bigger man goes in with the championship. All right. That being said, you got CM Punk retaining. All right. Thank you for that. And again, who is the villain? Who is the baby face? Who deserves the happy ending in this story of need and drive for success and being the best? Let us know your thoughts in the comments because, again, this is going to be pinnacle in WWE's fall season, and this more likely could be your Saturday night's main event. All right. Well, JJ, with that in mind, the roots of the Rhodes versus the ride of CM Punk, or should I say the rise of CM Punk at this point? What are your thoughts regarding this? Again, Cody Rhodes, if he does win it, he becomes a 4-time undisputed. I'm just reading the marquee. Don't chew me out. Chew out WWE. He does become a 4-time undisputed WWE champion. But CM Punk has not even had this, I think, full month. And someone can fat trap me on that. So, again, what do you think?
This is another one that I'm really torn about because Cody Rhodes seems to be, for all intents and purposes, their new John Cena.
Mr. TKO.
And Cena never really went long without the title.
Nope.
However, I think we're getting dangerously close to the Cody heel turn. Mark Henry brought up a good point this morning, saying Cody's been a heel the last 2 years. If you really think about the responses he's been getting, the way he talks down to his friends, the way that he's caused all of his best friends to leave him.
Huh. That's a good point.
Cody has not been the good guy. But we still perceive him as the baby face because he comes out there and he's kissing babies and he's, showing love to the kids and, the weight belts and everything. Much like I said about Sami Zayn and was proven to be right.
I remember
about
that.
him winning the belt and then losing it quickly. And now that he's had that taste of it, that's what it takes to make him snap. Cody is going to come within seconds of taking the belt back from Punk, only for Punk to keep it. And Cody isn't going to get the W at the big show. He's not going to win the belt back at SummerSlam like he did last year. And the fact that he just can't beat CM Punk is going to be what pushes him over the edge. Now, Cody will need something to really help to take him to the next level.
But what?
Not what. Who? Somebody that Cody has history with. Somebody who Cody has beaten a whole bunch of his guys. You can call this man an advocate. You can call him a wise man. Cody just refers to him as Mr. Heyman.
Okay.
Hold on, think about it. He's defeated Seth. He's defeated Brock. He's defeated Roman.
The Paul Heyman guy that's left.
He hasn't beaten Punk yet. So what's it going to take for him to beat Punk?
Wow. All right.
And I've got a great way to set this all up, too. Because, again, you know me. You know my storytelling. WWE, Get at me, at ROWJJ Williams.
I endorse you every chance I can get.
I know
Continue.
you do. I know you do, because you love my script writing more than you love watching WWE. You would probably watch WWE Weekly if I was writing the TV.
I'll admit it right now, I would be.
So, for a few weeks, you have these backstage segments, and you hear a phone ringing, but you can't everyone's like, is that your phone? Is that your phone? Because everybody's got cell phones. No, it's not me. It's not me. But you just hear this phone ringing in the background. And then one day it is revealed that it's one of those old school block brick cell phones in a trunk. Throwback to Paul E. Dangerously.
That Danger Alliance. I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it's Cody trying to call the old Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman redoes his hair, his ponytail again.
No, we don't need to go that far with it. Don't need to go that far, but
On the same
Cody-
phone that
Cody
Paul Heyman called his dad on.
Cody being an old school guy, the three-piece suits, the way he carries the championship like Ric Flair did.
Yes.
He's calling old school Heyman, to Walter's point, calling the number that Heyman called his dad on to give Dusty that run in ECW that saved their home.
Yep, I remember. And that was one of the first things that Cody thanked Heyman for when he first came back. I love this long-term continuity, but I also love this development where we end the chapter on Brock Lesnar and start a new saga, what truly could be called the American Nightmare. I'm loving this right now. But the only way that happens is if CM Punk wins, correct?
Correct. And I do have Punk retaining.
Right.
You know, again, if Cody is going to be gone even for a week or two to plug and promote this movie,
right,
having Heyman there to advocate for him in his absence is just sheer brilliance, because Heyman has nobody now. The Vision, he doesn't want the Vision. Once the Vision is successful, the Vision should want nothing to do with Heyman because they did it on their own.
Seems like they already are.
Seth has left Paul when he left the Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Roman has outgrown his wise man.
Mm-hmm.
Punk never really needed him. It was more about hanging out with his friend. And Punk even said as much in his Best in the World DVD.
Yeah.
Cody doesn't really need him, but Heyman is so good at taking that person to the next level, especially when they're a villain. Think about what the reveal of Heyman sitting on the couch next to Roman did for Roman when that whole bloodline angle began.
The rest is history forever.
It changed everything.
Never look
So
back.
to have that phone ringing and ringing and ringing for weeks, and then finally somebody answers it. You know, maybe Heyman finds it because he just happens to be backstage and he hears the phone ringing. And he opens the crate and sees the old brick phone.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
And then you get this, hello, we need to talk.
Instead, we want to talk about, or Paul Heyman's like, and just comes in out of frame, be like, what do you want to talk about?
Don't do that because then it gives away who's calling.
True.
And you don't want to give that away until it's the right moment.
Damn you, JJ. Now I'm going to be disappointed if they don't do this shit.
I'm sorry. What WWE could do if they were creative in their booking. But that being said,
sorry.
But that being said, applause to the best creative mind in the wrestling business right now, not higher. But that being said, we get back to Sleepy Dick Day because this was a match worthwhile in fantasy booking. Because if this happens, you got me back as a fan, maybe in WWE, at least for the blue brand, because that's what the WWE champion will reside.
He's booking, brought up the numbers. Look at the numbers.
Look,
he does have CM Punk
look
retained.
at Charles. Charles is sick. Yep. He is unable to join us because he's got something. He's like,
Yep.
They need to do this.
JJ gave the pro wrestling high without being in the ring at all and not even writing a single thought down. This was just feed from his brain, and it's absolutely incredible. And the fact of the matter also, I didn't even think about this. Last year when Cody did win the Undisputed WWE Championship, it was the final note on the entire SummerSlam weekend. Y'all remember what happened at Saturday night last year? You just had a big title change, the big rules, Money in the Bank, but of course, Paul Heyman, he was there in that moment. Here, though, this right here, you want this two-night SummerSlam to be memorable, you need a WTF both nights. And if I'm being genuinely honest, there is a bigger what if to come. What do you talk about after this weekend's done out of the first night than there is out of Sunday night? And that right there ellipses anything else that I could think of or had a what if, because I'll be straight up. I don't think Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel because he's Mr. TKO. There's too much corporate investment in him. But with Roman Reigns tweeting, and even when he was heel, biggest money draw, biggest must-see attraction, biggest fan to talk about, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And people have been waiting for Cody Rhodes to go back to black hair, Kryptonite Rhodes, since he took on Brody Lee in that dog collar match in front of nobody during the damn pandemic. I kind of wish he kept that look. This right here would change the entire manifestation of even Ash's outlook probably of Cody Rhodes as we know it. This is beyond brilliant, but the only way it happens, cause and effect, CM Punk needs to leave with the championship. And I agree. I don't think Cody Rhodes needs to be a 4-time Undisputed WWE champion, let alone 2 times in the same damn year, much like last year. How many times do we play the same record on repeat before you get tired of the damn song or break the vinyl in half? Well, maybe not vinyl because vinyl's valuable. Delete the damn soundtrack from your iTunes playlist. Regardless, I do think everything from JJ's S-rank booking to what I hope to see develop one day in Cody has to involve CM Punk retaining. Now, whether or not straight up traditional wrestling, the better wrestler who is the best in the world, because maybe that's what the root of it all is when it comes to these two men's merit and value and pride, or you get the WTF that JJ talked about. CM Punk has to leave the Undisputed WWE title. It's as simple as that. All right, that being said, before I give it to Dominguez, we move on real here, because I know these two have their own vocal thoughts, because one's biggest fans, Randy Orton, and, well, the less we talk about that WrestleMania match, the better. Emmanuel, I mean, again, I don't think he hates Cody like John Cena. Again, no chocolate. But, Emmanuel, I will say this, and JJ, you definitely influenced the panel a tiny bit. Almost unanimous with CM Punk. One brave soul has picked Cody Rhodes. It is 97% to 3% in favor of the Undisputed WWE Champion retaining. Emmanuel, what do you got to say real quick before we finally move on from this as we hit the halftime point?
He's playing his Emmanuel card. He's the one brave soul.
No, unfortunately, I actually went for CM Punk.
Oh, okay, good man. I was about to say, Jesus.
That's why he's wearing the shirt.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing the shirt. Whoever the brave soul played that Emmanuel card. Good for you.
You're a bloody loon. You're a bloody freaking loon. Continue.
Well, yeah.
Hello, Lily.
CM Punk should win this, hands down. Like, there's no reason for Cody to regain it, because if you had Cody retaining, I think you're gonna alienate more fans and drive more fans out of the WWE fandom. I mean, they're sick of tired of Cody Vander per se, and let's face facts. Like even there's some people who are fed up with Punk's reign. So what do you do here? It's like just give the title to somebody else and see where they take it. Like I'm not sure if you give it to Balor and see if that brings viewers in, get the shock, like get the redemption that he always wanted, and be longer than 1 day reign. That would be something.
Something.
But, yeah, something.
Game 3. There's another drink.
But I feel like if out everybody, if somebody's gonna turn heel, it's CM Punk. Maybe because Heyman got into his ear. Yeah, he has more to lose than gain. If Cody turns heel, that'd be a shock. But that means like for weeks that Cody knew he was going to lose and need Heyman's help to win him. So one of these two individuals going to call Paul Heyman to help him out and distract the other wrestler, and that's how they win the title.
All right.
But yeah, that's my thoughts. Like, we've been wanting and clamoring for a darker CM Punk. The babyface run has run its course, and it won't be the first time that a Punk went heel then face. Then it will be the first time he would go face then heel.
Yeah, but CM Punk is known to walk both sides of the line. He's always been gray his whole entire career. I'm not talking about his hair. There's a reason why they say he changes the culture. Thanks for changing the culture when you return. And people basically have considered him their worst nightmare. And I could go down the list of victims, including one, Drew McIntyre, also a victim of Cody Rhodes. What we haven't seen, though, is Cody be heel since he first joined Bullet Club. And that's what people clamor for. You already did the trope with CM Punk. It wouldn't matter right now because at the end of the day, he's walking that fine line. Plus, on SmackDown, as they talked about, he didn't come back to make friends. He came back for money. He came back for championships. He's got both again. But I do see what you mean. But regardless, you got CM Punk retaining. You're being sane. Okay. Good man. Good man. Arlene, anything you want to say in close before we move on to Sunday night? Going once. Going twice because I'm jeopardying it. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on. And if Arlene does have anything further to say, then she can bring it forward. Because, again, get your priorities straight before your passions. All right, now we move into Sunday. And yes, folks, that was Saturday. Now let's get to the second half. And this is not a rugby game or a football game. That's the actual football, not the American football. Let's go ahead and talk about Sunday night. In no particular order, but I do think we're going to start with the bench warmer, and then we're going to get to the main event, the main attraction, because nothing's going to surpass Roman and Seth, no matter how lackluster you think the build is. But speaking of lackluster, talk about dumpster fire, you got this for some daggum reason. But at least we are going to whoop that trick. And no, that whoop that trick.
Oh, yeah, man.
Whoop that trick.
I like it.
Damn it! They're not copyright. All right, that's enough. Bloody hell, freaking Trick Williams, freaking bring more bass than Megan to do with that song. I'm not going there. Or a damn lowrider. Orderly. All right, straight up. So we know Trick Williams, United States, Trick's retaining. We know Trick Williams, the United States champion, and of course, Baron Corbin, he shouldn't be here. It became number one contender out of circumstance, just returning with WWE. Why is Carmelo Hayes not here? And basically, we know that Trick Williams has been the United States champion since being Sami Zayn. Great attraction on SmackDown. And we know that he's going to hold on to it with this fluffy fur title. Don All, of course, out, thanks to Lil Yachty. Seriously, you think Baron's got a chance in hell? And it's just one of those things right now that we're wondering when like Ilya Dragunov's going to step forward, or maybe Royce Keys actually would be an interesting thing. No one wants to see this. So it's just one of the matters that I feel like Trick Williams is going to just get a massive pop because he brings that electricity to the air. Seriously, that's the only reason people care about this. And we know that Trick Williams is going to retain because right now he's been one hell of a fighting champion. Plus, this misses. No one's going to bet against Trick. Being involved in the ladder match, spoiler alert, by the way, she became the final entrant being Julia. Well, Julia, there you go. I feel like this is a no-brainer. So, without wasting any brain cells or encouraging alcohol drinking, can we all just say whoop that trick in unison on the count of three and move on? Are you ready? And chat, I encourage you to type it as well. Going once, going twice, whoop that trick.
But you don't know. You don't know, Noah.
How you know?
What Jade said, because let me just say, because him and I probably got this. Trick is destined for big. I'm not trying to insult the U.S. title, and I know he just customized it, but he's destined for bigger and better things. And Baron Corbin just came back. You can have him lose this title, give it to Baron, win the Money in the Bank, and you can have Trick in the bank and customize this. If you notice today, spoiler, or if you watch SmackDown, he was very face. He didn't even have little Yachty with him. It's like they know. I said this years ago. Stop trying to force him to be a heel. He's organically a face. Just make him a face. And they finally listen. I feel like because he was the most face heel ever. Like with that song, with that everything.
Yeah.
And
give you
so, like,
he's got
they
all the
can give it
charisma
to
of a
Baron.
rock, pretty much.
They can give it to Baron by hook or by crook on some BS, and he can win the Trick in the Bank and be destined to bigger things. Hang on to it for like a whole year. You got all the way to next October now that you made the Money in the Bank later, and you can use him as a plan B in case somebody gets hurt, somebody you really need, and he can cash in. So I just feel like he can be bigger than this U.S. title. So I don't think it's as plain as you making it seem like.
Considering the potential of this man seizing the opportunity that America represents, I will respect that outlook, and I do think Trick Williams is bound to be a champion in WWE on a bigger level. Whether or not it's undisputed, wait and see. All right, Walter, I respect that. Well, from one brain to another, thing one, thing two. Hello, how are you? JJ, I did hear you go, nope, and against of all people, Trick Williams. So go ahead and see if Walter spun the same tale as you before you for once, or say your piece while you're going with Baron Corbin.
Walter basically took a lot of what I was going to say. Again, I get that Baron Corbin looks out of place here.
Yes, right.
But why are you bringing him back if it's not to put him over? Why are you bringing him back if there's not a long-term goal here? Let's think about this for just a second.
All right.
Okay. JJ's going to cook a little bit more. There's a group over on Raw that has been eternally damned by injury. What is the name of this group?
The Vapor.
The Vision.
Thank you, Walter. Let's use real names for people that may be tuning in and don't know your witty side humor, Noah, okay?
Okay. I'll teach them about the water cycle later. Yes, the
Vision.
The Vision.
Who is the standout member of the Vision that is still there right now?
Logan Paul.
No, it's Braun.
Thank you. Who does Braun have history with that just came back?
Baron Corbin.
So if Baron Corbin gets the U.S. title, we can get Braun away from the fucking Vision. We can dethrone Corbin for that U.S. title.
They are not going to turn Braun Breaker babyface.
Why not?
He's too much
It's
in the
something. It's something people have been wanting anyway. He gets babyface reactions. The fans have been waiting for Braun to break out and achieve greatness.
Yeah, they can keep
losing
waiting.
the tag titles and distancing himself from the Vapor, as you called them, the Vortex.
That might be more appropriate.
Going after a man who he has history with, who was tag champions with, who got drafted back to the main roster with. Don't forget, when Braun got drafted, so did Corbin after they had their run in NXT. And then they separated them and Baron Corbin got released. You don't think Corbin may not have a little bit of animosity about that?
I think Corbin's had animosity and just freaking bad freaking PTSD about his career for the longest time before he left WWE, honestly. He's been gimmick buried into oblivion since he turned away from being the lone wolf. As soon as he spoke his first words in NXT, I was like, oh, jeez. And the rest is history.
So I got Corbin here.
You're crazy. He's got a longer timeline of character development and a shorter span than Chris Jericho. All right, well, thank you for that, JJ. But again, that's why I do this, because believe it or not, folks, not everybody says the same damn thing and what seems the most obvious, and somehow they try to make context out of it make sense. So There you go. You got both hats. But I will say I'm going to whoop that trick as long as he is the most over like Rover thing on SmackDown since sliced bread. Since SmackDown doesn't have a main attraction besides QB1, QB2, and everyone else is effing sick of it. Emmanuel, I do see her. I can't what you guys say real quick, and then we'll move on because again, it's United States Championship. Let's be honest here, folks. The mid-card title doesn't need a lot.
I'm about to tell you, they may be onto something. Like Baron Corbin signed for a reason. Like it's kind of shady that he just came back and he cut the line out of nowhere and he gets a title opportunity in SummerSlam. This kind of like seems too fast. Like, it's like, but you know, like deep inside, you know, Trick is bound for a world title or WWE title.
I admit that. I see the great.
And if he gonna have to have that process, he needs to eventually lose. So him losing and him chasing and him winning the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber match wouldn't be so far fetched.
All right, fair enough. I appreciate everyone's outlook. Like I said, here we don't chastise, we just analyze. That being said, to JJ's point, and now I know he's definitely one of the ones, and yes, I wrote that down. 7 people did go with dumpster fire Baron Corbin to seize the United States title and probably make it look more trashy than the Hardcore Championship. 78% did go with Trick Williams, though. So 25 out of the 32 now that have submitted their predictions are whooping that trick, including me. Okay, fair enough. Arlene, since you didn't speak on the other match, anything you want to say regarding Trick Williams, or shall we move on? The floor is now yours, because I know you're back. 3, 2, 1. The floor is now yours. I know you're back.
All I had to say about the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes is that CM Punk is going to win. I do feel like Cody doesn't need it, but there have been rumors that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to come back. Well, take it as you will. So if Cody wins this, it might be Cody versus Randy again for the championship. Honestly, I'm to the point where it doesn't need to be for the championship. So, but I could see WWE going that route anyways. So who knows? But yeah, I think CM Punk's going to win.
Okay, and as far as this, you whoop that trick, right? 3.
No, I actually want Baron to win.
What the fuck?
Only because I think he's come back, and I think the way they've been trying to build up Mello versus Trick, like either you pull the trigger or not, like whether they're gonna do it for the championship or not, like pull the trigger already. If not, like I just feel like Trick's run has come to an end, and like he's already only faced Ricky States and Trick anyways. He needs new opponents if you're gonna have him keep the title. So at this point, just give it to Baron.
Gives me less of a reason to tune into SmackDown, but okay then. Thank you for that, Arlene. All right, good job, everybody. And yeah, technical difficulties bound to happen, but I'm still going to make sure everyone says their piece, damn it, because that's what I do. All right, let's go ahead and move on from there. We got 5 matches left, if you want to call it that. So from the United States Championship to #1 contendership. How thin this would open, considering a man has been on a 10-year stint to be redeemed from what happened in the initial review of what became known as the Universal Championship. Now they go one-on-one for #1 contendership for the Undisputed WWE Championship. It's Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Of course, Sami Zayn, the last real good guy in WWE, has been looking for a way to seize their opportunity against CM Punk, probably, for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And, of course, he pinned Cody to seize that title. Finn Balor, though, for those that don't know, 10 years ago in 2016, Brand Split LOL was first initiated with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon leading Raw, introducing a red strap known as the Universal title. It was Finn Balor and Seth freaking Rollins that night, and even when a shoulder popped out of its socket, Finn Balor won and became the inaugural champion. But 24 hours later, he had it vacated due to shoulder surgery and injury. He has not sniffed or touched an undisputed WWE Championship or World Championship since, although he did go on to become, of course, notorious two-time NXT champion in the black and gold. Oh, excuse me. My NXT! The black and gold NXT. Of course, Finn Balor just came to SmackDown now that Judgment Day is behind him. And so far, since being part of SmackDown, it's been good for him. No more contendership, a little bit of fallout with what Sikoa MFT family used to be. But of course, there was big developments there. I'm not going to spoil that because I don't need to because we're not involved in this card at all. But that being said, Finn Balor's looking for, I think, a first, if not maybe a second, longer than 24 hours. And Sami Zayn, his character development right now, he could just go into a further sense of rage and being apoplectic in defeat. But that being said, who you believe, based on our prediction, should face CM Punk for the Undisputed WWE Championship next? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. Now, last time, again, I thought last time it was going to be unanimous, so this one right here might also be polarizing. And again, since we're starting a new night, so the order continues. That being said, because it was, of course, Walter who kicked things off for match 1. This is match 2. Hi, JJ. JJ, Undisputed WWE Championship opportunity, the future that's ahead for it. Do you have Sami Zayn or do you have Finn Balor next contending for it? Maybe it happens at Money in the Bank.
Yes. Who will be the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship?
Undisputed WWE Championship.
The WWE Championship.
Undisputed WWE Championship.
Call it what you want. I'm going to call it by its proper title, the WWE Championship. It cannot be undisputed when there's a World Heavyweight Championship. There are 2 fucking titles. It cannot be undisputed.
Undisputed. It says in the graphic.
I don't care what the graphic says.
Oh, I love
the
getting
WWE Championship.
Undisputed. Anyway, continue. It's like a lion alliance up in here. Or Ezekiel. It's hilarious.
But
yes.
tomato, potato.
Yes.
I got Finn Balor.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we need to keep Sami away from the title until we get closer to Saudi. Because I still think Sami is going to win the title again at Saudi Mania. But we need to keep this downward spiral that he's on that's going to drive him deeper and deeper into madness.
Conspiracy theory.
If you know the lore of everybody's favorite green-haired comic book villain, all it takes is one bad day. And Sami is going to go on a string of bad day after bad day after bad day until he finally snaps.
Fair enough.
And someone has to ask him, Sami, why so serious?
I like it. All right. That being said, Finn Balor for the win. Balor Club worldwide apparently on Sunday night.
Thank you, Seth. When the interim women's champion faces off against Rhea Ripley, that will be an undisputed champion.
All right.
That's what I said.
All I'm going to say is undisputed. All right, let's go ahead and see
what give me that image. I'm going to give it to Grok and have them remove the freaking word undisputed.
All right, you got it. I'll be sure to do that after the shoot concludes. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm sure there's 144 people that would love to poll on this too and see whether they agree or disagree with you. Again, folks, we're talking about the number 1 contenders match. If you're tuning in just now, the Undisputed WWE Championship number 1 contenders match between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. I love this freaking trope. This is so much fun for me. Okay, he said Finn Balor. Let's see what the rest of you think.
I've actually used Grok when the AEW has the graphics that are Dynamite / Collision.
Yeah.
I'll feed it into Grok and be like, remove the Collision logo. That way I can use it for Dynamite and then for Collision.
Oh, you're brilliant. Again, AI tools, when used properly, folks, can actually be a decent commodity. It's just a matter of people that actually use them stupidly. Very creative. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Thank you, JJ. Manuel, I do see your hand. I acknowledge you. What you gotta say real quick? Are you disagreeing?
No.
Okay.
I'm about to say, Noah, what if this was all planned by WWE? They needed a way to make the women's title undisputed. Because until right now, we haven't they haven't men's undisputed title.
True.
And then Rhea mysteriously got injured. We don't know if it's true or not. This is not the first time WWE lie about an injury. What if this was their plan all the time, just to rename the title the undisputed title?
I'm waiting for the graphic. I'm waiting for the graphic to say the word.
That way, there's an undisputed woman's title.
Okay.
So that way you did separate the two. Now you have the women's undisputed championship, and now you have the women's WWE champion. Simple as that.
Look, the thing of the matter is, one's the world heavyweight, one's the undisputed WWE. Look at the two words I'm putting together. Undisputed, and this is not a word, but this is the company. Undisputed WWE. World heavyweight. They're two titles of their own class, but one defines you as the guy. It is the title in the company's existence. That is the undisputed WWE Championship. You can't dispute the name. Undisputed. All right, that being said, thank you, Emmanuel. So that being said, we got two Finn Balor's. Before we move on, before we go into a whole nother type of conversation here, and this might turn into a TED Talk, does anyone actually have Sami Zayn winning, or can we move on, please? Going once, going twice. Really? Walter, go ahead.
I just get this weird feeling. He keeps calling himself the last good guy. I'm the only one. He keeps putting singled out. And I just feel like Arlene mentioned it too. That's why I said earlier, later. I feel like Kevin Owens is going to come back. And yes, the last time they were on TV together, they were fighting and being a rival.
Yes.
But he may finally see his boy, his brother, had that title and got screwed. And he's going to come back and help him get on the right path to getting back to that title. So I feel like Kevin Owens can come out and screw Balor. That way you still can make Balor look strong, because Balor has all the momentum right now. And honestly, I think Balor needs to win way more.
Agree.
But then you're just going to feed him the Punk and have him lose anyways. So why not?
You don't know that. We're not assuming the future. I mean, things could happen. Things could turn around. They had the match in this chamber earlier this year.
Yeah, and it was a banger, and they're gonna have another banger regardless. But I just feel like Kevin Owens is ready to come back. He's gonna come back and he's gonna help his brother. Like he's been telling him when Kevin was there how everybody gets screwed and you can't be the good guy. And Kevin Owens has history with that same damn Universal title that Finn Balor was fighting over too. Kevin Owens had that title and then got screwed with other people coming back and the bullshit that they booked and all that. So, I got a weird feeling Kevin Owens is gonna have something to do with this match.
Well, let's not also forget Finn Balor, of course, has beaten Kevin Owens, going all the way back to the Black Gold NXT at NXT over Brooklyn. Of course, the NXT championship. In fact, Finn Balor took the NXT championship from Kevin Owens. I don't think Kevin Owens forgot about that either. So there's long-term history there. So I like the outlook at that again. We're figuring about both men, but majority rules, I think most of us here are in Balor Club. And that being said, as far as the poll goes, a majority are also in Balor Club. It is 2-1, 63% in favor of Finn Balor. And of course, that means 37% in favor of Sami Zayn, 20-12. So we will see what happens. But I think there's a reason why Finn Balor is no longer being ruled by a Judgment Day narrative that I thought would never end. So again, good luck to both. And I think this could be a sleeper for Sunday night. All right. Well, that being said, while we were arguing about a word, undisputed, as we talk about the Undisputed WWE Championship, let's go ahead and shift gears now into...
Yes. Danhausen and Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a human monies on a pole match.
JJ, 2 questions. With all due respect, love you, bro. Do you have ibuprofen on express delivery for me, or anything you could get me to Toledo real quickly to, I don't know, give me a lobotomy?
No.
Okay,
I got
so
product for you.
You
Yeah.
do, but
Well, Walter's got the good stuff.
I don't know. I don't know if your good stuff is the stuff I need to cleanse my soul. So I'll just go ahead and do this.
I just saw Vince Russo work for JCW, not WWE.
the
Just saying.
fucking Vince
I'm not
Russo
gonna sit
booking
here.
is
Hold on, time out, cut the shit. I'm not gonna sit here and do the Noah and give the whole backstory of all this shit because anybody, we're already almost 2 hours into this shit.
Yeah.
Anybody that follows us knows the backstory of this shit. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna
Go
keep
ahead.
it short. I'm gonna keep it
Please.
sweet.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep it to the point. I'm gonna
Please
go on
do.
a little mini rant here.
All
but
right.
to the people that thought that the Hendryhausen segment from Raw was the worst thing on WWE television, where the fuck have you been for the last 30 years?
Yeah. Thank you, JJ.
Exhibit A, Katie Vick. Exhibit B, Mae Young giving birth to a hand and the grown-up hand coming back in human form on an old school Raw episode. Exhibit 3, Duke the Dumpster Drozy. Exhibit 4, Tony Atlas as Saba Simba because WWE wanted to capitalize on the popularity of the Lion King. Respectfully, shut the fuck up.
Okay. Thank you. You got the-
Hendryhausen is WWE's version of Joya. Plain, simple, to the point, and I know you can respect that. As a man of TNA, nobody thought Joe Hendry and Yuya Uemura should work. But goddamn it, they worked, and they worked beautifully.
Can I get a joy?
I wish.
Hendryhausen is their Joya. That shit was comedy. It was pure comedy gold. Look, Bully and Dave LaGreca hated it. Hated it with a passion. But they were flooded by phone calls talking about how wives and kids couldn't stop laughing. That segment wasn't for you if you didn't enjoy it. There's a whole other audience that it was for, and it hit the mark. It did not miss the mark like you fucking haters are saying. Now, like I touched on when we did Liv versus Io, this is going to be the match that breaks the curse for the Judgment Day. Danhausen can lose this match. He's undefeated in WWE, but he stays strong because he doesn't have to be pinned or made to submit. All he needs to do is be kept from getting to the human monies. Judgment Day is Judgment Day. You know there's going to be shenanigans afoot. Dominic Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time, the AAA Mega Champion, the heel among heels, is going to reclaim his human monies from the pole. The Judgment Day will be uncursed, and we can get out of this vortex of Danhausen Judgment Day. Let Hendryhausen maybe go on for some tag titles. Let the Judgment Day do their own thing. I'm done, Noah.
Okay, that way.
I got another exhibit I can add to that. The choppy choppy yo pee pee.
That was comedy. That was comedy.
Comedy is subjective as much as anything else on this planet. That being said, Emmanuel, I see your hand. We gotta say it real quick before we fucking move on out of this shit.
Actually, I was going to say Danhausen's going to win, Noah.
Okay, good man, because I'm also going to say Danhausen, because at the end of the day, with the fact they screwed over both him and Joe Hendry, they're both coming back for revenge. Judgment Day has become Danhausen's latest expense after they finished off with The Miz and Kit Wilson. Danhausen is the entity of what WWE always wanted as their focal point of marketing and entertainment. Simple as that.
But 2 quick notes, Noah.
Make it quick, because I'm already starting to boil.
Yeah, like what happened to Dominic Mysterio? Like he dropped off way down. We was talking about he was a future World WWE Championship, and now he's in a comedy act.
He's still being booked. So at the end
That's
of
why
the
we
day,
need to end this. That's why we
Yeah,
need him
yeah.
to get his victory and get out of this.
well, they're on Monday Night Raw. I don't see this ending anytime soon. And Dom ain't going after a title, despite the fact in a bygone life, I think he was the WWE Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, all right.
And second of all, like don't be surprised if we see an appearance of Miz and Kit Wilson interfering, and even the odds, like there'll be a lot of shenanigans. Don't forget, JJ, that he still had his lackeys and to help him out. He had Joe Hendry to help him out. So don't forget that.
Don't forget that Dom has his faction in AAA with the giant Omos.
No, I just
I was about to say, AAA crossed over into the main roster. I mean, it almost was previously on Raw, so I guess that could possibly happen.
I mean, we saw the AAA Cruiserweight title defended tonight on SmackDown, so...
Well, again, they own them. That makes sense. All right, Arlene, I do see your hand. What do you got to say real quick? Plus, they're warming up for a Heatwave and AAA double event at the end of August. What do you got to say real quick, Arlene?
Sorry.
You're muted.
No, she has a delay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll allow it.
I've been having problems hearing you, Noah. I can hear everybody else but you for some reason. So that's why I keep going in and out. So now I think I'm now matching with you guys. But earlier I had to go to YouTube to hear what you were saying because I could hear JJ and Walter, but I just couldn't hear you for some reason. I don't know.
StreamYard, look, okay, you want to bring an IT moment in here. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, StreamYard sometimes tries to auto-balance the audio, not only that you hear, but also that you speak. And sometimes you just need to turn off that toggle. Other times when you're dealing with network latency or audio issues or video issues, you just have to drop in and drop out or literally refresh your browser. Sometimes emptying out your internet cache will also help improve your PC performance and your internet use. This has been an IT lesson courtesy of The Simple Man. Thank you for tuning in.
Anyways, so my brother was basically going to say what I was going to say, like what happened to Dominic Mysterio. He was like he had this good run, and then all of a sudden he got into this Danhausen. That's why I feel like, Dominic Mysterio, like JJ said, needs to win this so he can get out of this. But also to JJ's point, the storylines with AAA and the storylines between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown are completely different. They build this new Los Perros, whatever you want to call them, in AAA, but yet you have Carmen Petrick losing in NXT and the Garza's losing in SmackDown. So it's like the storylines are not matching up. If they're going to do this, you have to make it make sense in each brand, not just AAA has this storyline, but we're going to completely ignore it and just follow the storylines we have going on for these people on Raw and SmackDown. That's my only rant for this, is that they have to be consistent. If they're going to have a storyline with AAA, with all these wrestlers and everything like that, they have to follow the storyline, and NXT for that matter. If they're going to do that, they need to be consistent with the other brands, not just forget that they're part of this,
Proverbial bubble
group. Yeah, and completely ignore it when they're on Raw and SmackDown. Like it does, be consistent. Raw, Triple H. Or
you're asking WWE to be consistent. I don't think that's a sentence that you could actually build into a report and it actually makes sense, especially with two different worlds of wrestling, with AAA in Mexico, strictly Mexico, and NXT and SmackDown being a softer version of Monday Night Raw. But I do understand what you mean. Regardless, Danhausen. Love that Danhausen. JJ picked Dominic Mysterio because we got to end this. The only way this ends is if Dom gets his human money's back. Hey, if nothing else, maybe Joe Henry will finally get an entrance. Yeah, you remember what this song used to sound like? I do.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Believe it or not, I don't think he's had an entrance on Raw yet with that. If someone can actually go back in time and tell me the last time we had Joe Hendry actually come out to his entrance music, please let me know, and I will try and re-get that conversation. And again, comparing that to Joya, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not Craig Ferguson, and I'm not going down that proverbial trope tonight. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and move on. Oh, I will also say, JJ is officially a man on his own island for the first time tonight. It's 100% unanimous with Danhausen. So good luck. Arlene, what you got to say real quick?
I said I was going against. I said I was going to go with Dom for the win.
Oh, okay. So JJ actually has a partner on the island. All right. Clothed and not afraid. Okay. Thank you very much. Moving on. Jesus Christ almighty. I lost freaking brain cells on this. Let's go ahead and move on to what I believe is going to be my match. Oh, fuck it. It is going to be my match of the night because from one freaking Latina talking about a promotion in Mexico to a man under a former identity, no relation, that gave probably the WWE match of the year, to another man that has given gang signs more than Grand Theft Auto to kids under 6 years old that has been reigning and defending with the Intercontinental title far more than Dom ever did. Let's talk about the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now I'm awake. Penta has sit on the arrow defending against Chad Gable. Let's fucking go. This is the match of the night for me. All right, straight up. As we know, Chad Gable, not the first time he's gone after this title. Back in a bygone life, he did used to fight Sami Zayn over this. He never got it. He even took on Talin General Gunther for it, trying to stop what became the longest historic run with the Intercontinental title. Now, ever since Chad Gable, showed back up in WWE, getting that mutual respect with luchadors. What a weird quickie dink. With the likes of Rey Mysterio and Penta Silmiguero, he has fought his way through a gauntlet to earn this chance for the Intercontinental title. No Alpha Academy, no Hermanos, just him, Chad Gable, one-on-one for the Workhorse Championship, and preferably one of the strongest workhorses under any identity in WWE recent memory. Not named Dominic Mysterio. I'll give credit due to the young man, but he's still a freaking brat. That being said, this is the title that I have been waiting to see around the waist and worked with that ethic that Chad Gable presents. Damn it, it's gotta be his freaking time already. But again, not about me. It's about everyone else through the predicting. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. And considering that, Arlene, you ended the post discussion, I'm going to let you spearhead the starting discussion. Do you have Penta Silmiguero retaining? He's already been champion now for over 150 days across, I believe, 7 defenses, or including a ladder match at WrestleMania. Or do you see Chad Gable finally getting his own thank you for everything he had to deal with in WWE and finally winning his first piece of singles gold? Who you got leading with the title?
Chad Gable for the win. Damn it.
Preach, sister. All right, Chad Gable, new champion. Let's go around the horn and see what else thinks. Does anyone agree or have a disagreement, particularly disagreement, before we move on? Going once. Going twice. Wow, it's actually unanimous. I'm actually impressed by all these freaking yahoos. That's the first time tonight. Yeah, like I said, Penta Silmiguero, a phenomenal run as a singles competitor. Rey Fenix trying, but he is not Penta. It just doesn't work for him. Sorry, just saying. And again, Penta has held this title for 152 days. Excuse me. Ugh. And literally has defended against everybody. Every great luchador, great former champions, including all Eagle, Ethan Page. Javon Evans finally got his chance. He defended against his idol, Rey Mysterio. He beat Dominic Mysterio. I know who the better champion is now. Beat Dragon Lee and beat what's his name? El Grande Americano. I feel like right now we need to reset the landscape of Monday Night Raw. Hell, we just saw the women's title change hands on Monday night. Why it's not defended this weekend, don't know. But I feel like Chad Gable, this is his time. It's a new leash on life. Start new, on his own. Build new rivalries. Bring new opportunities. Let him showcase why he is such a phenomenal athlete. Chad Gable for the win. this is the simplest prediction, I think, of the entire 2-day weekend that we all hope is right. Let's go ahead and see what everyone thinks here about this match. Majority are going with Chad Gable, 80%. 20% are going with Penta in favor of 27-6. All right, good job, everybody. I figured that match was super simple, so that's why I kept it in the middle. And I'm not Dr. Seuss. I don't know how this is working, but sometimes it's just what happens with me. I guess I'm an MC, according to Datilla. Let's go ahead and move on from here, shall we? Now into what's probably going to be the cool-down match, with all due respect, for what could be the undisputed WWE Women's Championship. But for now, it's interim. And because it's only 5, you're only getting 1 pick, as is tradition. If it was 6, you would get 2, but it's 5, so no. We have the Queen, Charlotte Flair, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, the current WWE United States Champion, Jade Cargill, and who to qualify tonight, as I said before, in case you have not watched SmackDown or are just now tuning in, the last person is Lash Legend, Mrs. Trick Williams. All right, so as we talked about earlier, we know that Rhea Ripley had to vacate the WWE Women's Championship. You're right, they don't call it Undisputed yet. The WWE Women's Championship, and of course, that meant she couldn't defend it at SummerSlam. I still think Io Sky probably would have picked her if that was the case, but I do think they're trying to postpone that. And whether or not it's truly physical or it's more mental, because she's been attacked on both fronts, and you can go wrong. We got this ladder match where JJ might as well go take a yawn because probably his favorite woman's going to win, and I'm not talking about his actual favorite here. But we do know whoever wins this will face Mommy Rhea Ripley to determine what has to be, I would think, renamed the Undisputed WWE Women's Championship. You all know how a ladder match goes. Climb the ladder, seize the gold. Now you'll know. So, does the Queen Charlotte Flair renew hostilities with Rhea Ripley, her greatest rival, and the match that redefined women's wrestling back at WrestleMania 39? Does Chelsea Green, the most entertaining woman on the entire main roster, and probably in all of WWE, not named Winston Clare and Kendall Gray, win QC for life? Kendall Gray, Lola Vice, about the only women's match I care about right now in WWE. I'm just going to say that for the record. And I do hope Lola Vice gets knocked the fuck out. Sorry, Walter. That being said, whole different conversation. Jade Cargill, been there, done that. Experiment. Okay, we're over it. Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley. There's a good balance there of respect between the former cheerleader and, of course, the ultimate rugby player. But they also ended out at Elimination Chamber one-on-one against each other. That led to Mommy's ascension. And she is the current WWE Women's United States Champion, the title that Chelsea Green should still be holding. I'm just going to say that for the record. Last Legend, though, potential. She has great potential, much like Trick Williams. Hasn't gotten a singles title. Went the distance in the Royal Rumble. And to my knowledge, I don't think her and Rhea Ripley have had a one-on-one match yet, much like Jessie Jane. I was holding out for that. Well, actually, they did have a one-on-one, but Jessie Jane ain't involved in this. If I were to swap one person out, you know who I would do it. Anyway, all 5 of these women qualify for this ladder match. And at the end of the day, it is a buffer. But what is the biggest money match for Mommy Rhea Ripley to defend and determine the undisputed WWE Women's Championship? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think about this. Hi, JJ. Starting off with you because I can. Sorry, not sorry. Who you got seizing the gold here as the interim champion?
Well, I'm going to go back to something that I've referenced a few times during Simply Predicting, and that's WWE Radio. No, I'm not a shill for the product, but I have been listening to it quite a bit.
Respect. Continue. And everyone will say
week,
their piece for this because we got 5 people involved, so why the F not? Continue, JJ. You start off.
This week, they had an interview with the Queen, Charlotte Flair, who talked about this match. And she brought up a very interesting point.
Do tell.
If she wins, does it count? It's an interim title.
Correct.
So she's still only a 14-time champion. She's not a 15-time champion because it's interim.
I would think so, yeah.
So then, why give it to her?
To get the
if
actual
it's
title.
not going to count, and if she's not going to beat Rhea,
how you know?
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just throwing it out there because Rhea seems to be unstoppable right now, and considering she's out of action, when she comes back, I don't just see her jobbing. I see her becoming the undisputed champion. So if if Charlotte isn't going to get the title and become undisputed, why give her the interim title? I'm glad that you brought Papagino's comment up, mainly because it took our name tags away and it got to feature something very prominently on Emmanuel's chest. I'm going to give him a solo shot.
Yeah, buy the shirt.
The
Cheap plug.
Emmanuel card.
Bloody hell. All right, cheap plug. And shout out to Papagino. Stay tuned for us for this league breakdown following this weekend. Love you, brother. Continue, Jay.
I'm showing off the Emmanuel card because I feel like I'm playing it here.
Why you say that?
I didn't expect to be the only person going for Dom. I thought there would be somebody else. That's why I didn't call the Emmanuel card out on that one.
Okay, fair enough. But Arlene did also say she backed you up on that.
I do feel I'm the only person that's going to pick this person. Ladies and gentlemen of the Simply Predicting panel, since we only get one pick, my prediction is Chelsea Green.
Yes!
Because of the heat from the fallout of Unreal Season 2. When the conversation was had about Chelsea as champion and how Chelsea isn't believable as a world champion. This is an interim title for all intents and purposes. In a world of fake, this is a fake title. You're not the real champion. You're the interim champion. You're a placeholder.
Correct.
So they can give it to Chelsea. She gets that moment of being the champion in her head. She is the champion.
I will jump out of my chair.
Even though it's only an interim title. In Chelsea's head, she is the champion.
She'll be the most important champion on SmackDown for me.
It gives the WWE creative an opportunity to show exactly how over Chelsea is and why she would be deserving of a legitimate championship run. And it gives an easy victory for Rhea when she comes back. That will break everybody's heart when she takes the title from Chelsea. But it'll make the creatives be like, it'll almost be a Daniel Bryan situation. They'll realize what they had and they'll find a way to get it back to her for real.
I would love that.
I've got Chelsea as your interim champion.
And as Special Agent N, I salute that prediction. As the Simple Man, I approve that prediction.
Because throw that graphic back up.
Which graphic?
The match graphic.
Oh, absolutely. Chelsea Green.
Charlotte's been champion. Doesn't really need it. Jade has been champion. Doesn't really need it.
No.
Tiffany has been champion and is currently your U.S. champion.
Correct.
We're not fucking turning her into the Ultimate Warrior having Tiffy 2 belts. That only leaves Chelsea and Lash.
Both haven't had their first yet. I mean, yeah.
And I feel like Jade, I love Jade. Everyone knows I love Jade. Everyone knows Walter loves Jade. But I feel like Jade is the type of character right now that would be insulted by having an interim title. Like I said, as far as Charlotte goes, it wouldn't count towards her accolades because it's not the title.
That's fair.
And Tiffy, she's already the U.S. champion. So give it to Chelsea. Lash isn't ready.
Respect. All right, there you go, folks. I'm curious if we're going to get all 5 names picked here, or we got everybody that are special slagents, or do we still bow down to the queen, or do you think it's Tiffy time and maybe they do make her story with her. Okay, that being said, JJ set up a hell of a ballot. Chelsea Green and the world will rejoice, and I will jump out of my chair and probably make a freaking Stumer react moment or blow out my headset. And I don't give a fuck who I piss off in doing it. That's how much I support the hot mess. All right, Chelsea Green by JJ. Let's go around the horn and see what the rest of the panel thinks. Emmanuel, you're next. Which pick do you have here? Emmanuel, card involved or not? Do you agree with JJ or do you have a different one in mind?
If you see my predictions, Noah, I actually did pick Chelsea Green as well.
Well, there you go.
But here's the sad truth. I'll be wasting a point. It's reality. Like I'm not gonna change my pick. It's gonna be Chelsea Green no matter what. But I know that most likely they're gonna give it to Charlotte or give it to Jade, and it's gonna be the same old match. Like it's gonna be boring. Like it's not it'd be uninspirational per se. Just give it to Chelsea. Like for the longest time, people have been pointing out, it's unreal. A true documentary, or is it a scripted documentary? That's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing a lot. That it's fake. Like it's fake stories. That because they claim that they didn't want to push Braun Breaker, yet they pushed a certain Hulk Hogan, a certain John Cena down our throats, Roman Reigns down our throats, and now in all the history now they changed their mind. That's BS. They know it's BS. They just didn't want to pull that trigger. So if you see the documentary, it makes you wonder what is real and what is fake. And if they push that storyline of Doc Hendricks saying that Chelsea Green is not a main banner, he's either that old and he needs to retire or get the F out of that creative, because you can't be thinking that for each and every woman. Because if people are cheering Chelsea Green and are right behind her and the most popular women's wrestler of today, then what are we doing here? I'm just saying.
And spinning our wheels in place. Then again, Michael Hayes, he never seemed like a guy that understood what a woman's potential was. But that's a whole different conversation. Hey-oh. I told you I was going to go into Ferguson mode some points here tonight. That being said, thank you, Emmanuel. Arlene, let's engage you. Do you also believe in the hot mess Chelsea Green, or do you have a different pick in mind?
Well, JJ, I'm sad to say that you're not the only one who has been saying about Chelsea Green being the one to win. Hold on. Before you get excited, Noah, that has been saying that Chelsea Green should win it, but actually have Rhea struggle to even beat her is the more running thing that I've been seeing on Twitter. Rhea's going to think that Chelsea's going to be so easy to beat that Chelsea actually puts up a good match. Where Rhea's like, my God, what am I going to... It's not going to be easy, like JJ says, that what people are wanting from Chelsea. They actually want to see Chelsea put up a good fight where Rhea's like...
Former Knockouts champion!
to win her. What do I have to do? She should have been easy. What is wrong with me kind of thing. So,
persistence.
Yes. But and in the end, like they do say that Rhea does win, but Chelsea puts up a good match. Now, this is where I'm gonna make everybody sad. I don't think they're gonna give it to Chelsea Green. I think where they're gonna think about where the most money is gonna be, and unfortunately, who gives more money to WWE and who's gonna provide? Probably not that I'm saying. Not that I agree. Don't come at me. This is not me saying. This is the WWE, higher ups that are thinking this. I'm just thinking the way they think.
That's fair.
I think they think that Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley will make more money than Chelsea Green and Rhea. And this is why I think they're going to give it to Charlotte, and Charlotte is going to end up winning over Rhea. Yes, I'm predicting it right now. And she is going to be, 15? I don't want to watch it.
Officially.
15-time women's champion.
Oh, bloody hell.
Boo!
And there goes the internet.
But
All
that is my guess, and only because WWE wants to do what is going to bring them the most money. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, they think they have more money with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley than Chelsea Green and Rhea, unfortunately. Especially if you're going to want to make this the main event. Because let's face it, when's the last time a woman has main evented a pay-per-view?
Oh, wow. That's
Bianca
a good
and
question.
Sasha, I think.
Yeah,
I believe WrestleMania 37 was the last time.
And I was there 39. That match would be worthy of a main event.
I said it should have been the main event.
So to say, like I said, this is the chance for a women's championship to main event, and this is the match that you need to go with. Unfortunately, I want Chelsea Green to win. If she wins, I'm gonna be happy. I just don't see WWE going that way.
I respect that outlook because I'm definitely the same mindset as I go to Walter next. But before I do, let's go ahead and see what the Galaxy or the No DQ or the super predicting community, I like to just simply call them fake. Well, I applaud all of you. It's all over the board. 2 people picked Tiffany Stratton. 3 picked Jade Cargill. 4 picked Last Legend. 9 people picked Chelsea Green as the highest ballot. Second highest, 20%. Nearly half, Walter, picked the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Are you in the majority? Are you in Chelsea Green's army? Or are you going to actually surprise us and pick somebody else completely different?
Are you serious? I DM'd you the moment they announced it before anybody qualified. I said Chelsea needs to win this, and she was winning. I was the first to say Chelsea needs to qualify and win it before anybody qualified. I knew they were putting in her.
I think I was the second.
Yeah, officially on the paper, I'm picking Chelsea, but same thing with Arlene. I just feel like they're gonna think the money match, the marquee match, and probably the next biggest pay-per-view, probably Money in the Bank, if Rhea can be back by then. If not, save it till Royal Rumble or something, and you make Rhea versus Charlotte a marquee women's match in Saudi Arabia. Go figure. Imagine that. So, yeah, well, business-wise, WWE-wise, mindset of a booker, mindset of people that need to draw that money. There, I think my brain is saying Charlotte, but my heart is definitely saying Chelsea. Before anyone qualified, I picked it.
Look, listen, I know Laura Vaness. I know Chelsea Green stayed in Japan. I remember Chelsea Green was part of the original Women of Honor at one point. This athlete, this commodity, this, what WWE basically has used her as, utility player, deserves this moment. Much like Nick Aldis finally read for the first time in a WWE ring. Chelsea Green deserves to be called in some form a WWE Women's World or WWE Women's Champion, period. You squandered the Women's United States title more times than I can count, and I'm not going down that trope. This isn't simply ranting. This is simply predicting. But Chelsea Green, in this spotlight, deserves this moment to entertain us, to build a foundation that is worthwhile in somebody the WWE Universe has invested in, that has been all business and has given us countless moments in the ladder match and her own body. Hell, I thought she should have won Money in the Bank in Canada, eh? And instead, Toodles got dropped off a ladder through 2 tables. God bless her. For me, Chelsea Green is the rightful position for this spot. But for a business standpoint, much like we've been talking about, because it's WWE, they're all about the money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Who does Rhea Ripley work the greatest with? Where's the biggest draw? Not since WrestleMania 39 has a women's match been that biggest of a draw. And who was on the other side of that marquee? It was Charlotte Flair. When it comes to the Queen, she is better known as a singles champion. They did the tag stint. Alexa Bliss, nowhere involved in this. Maybe people want the Queen to go heel again. But it is one of those things where JJ could yawn and be like, next. Because that being said, it is what it is, brother. And you're the one that talks about business, so you could also pretty much call yourself your own proverbial fickle mind. Chelsea Green by heart, Charlotte Flair by mindset. And officially, I'm going with Chelsea Green. Sometimes I don't give a fuck about being in the lead of leaderboards, and I don't give a fuck about a point. I just want the right person to win because they deserve it. Fuck this, because this is stupid beyond any shadow of a doubt already with the fact that it's interim. But if you're going to have an interim spot, have interim level entertainment that is worthy of being called world champion. Chelsea Green for the win, or I don't give a shit. All right, now we move on. Thank you, everybody. Okay.
No.
What?
No, real quick. It makes me wonder, has time really passed by a lot that people are going to actually don't mind Charlotte winning that title again? Or is it going to be more like JJ going boo? Like, has time really passed long enough for them to cheer for her now and be okay with her having another reign at this point?
I don't think she's had the world championship since WrestleMania 39, actually. So, I mean, 3 years is a pretty damn long time. Maybe? But then again, I also feel like she would have to stay babyface because she's been beefing with that bitch. And that's another first-time match, talking about money, that people, I guess for all it's worth, have kind of been waiting for. The fact of the matter that Charlotte Flair has not broken Jade Cargill's leg yet goes back to wait on it, folks. Wait on it. And that might wake JJ up at least 50%. So, yeah, I think Charlotte Flair, babyface moment, as is an interim position. Again, we don't have to take this seriously, but it's a matter of who really can seize the most opportunity. And I just think it's Chelsea Green. All right. Well, thank you for that little tidbit, Manuel. I actually appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Sorry, I did see the Michigan sign. I do see it now. JJ, what's on your mind?
First of all, apologies for the yawning. I've been getting up at like 7:30 my time each day to go to work.
Yeah, I know. Folks, they're in California, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm here in the Midwest. Continue.
To Emmanuel's point and to Arlene's point, I do feel that enough time has passed that people would probably be okay with Charlotte winning the title again, as long as it wasn't for a long reign. The problem that I foresee is I feel like we've done Rhea Charlotte. Granted, it was a couple of years ago, but I feel like we've done that enough that while, yes, there may be some money still, some equity in it, there's other matches, first-time matches, that people want to see that would do just as good business, if not maybe more. Charlotte has been enjoying this tag run. She's been enjoying being in the background. She's been enjoying being with her best friend. I think we need to keep her in this, and we've used this word a lot, but this vortex for right now. Because the minute you let her escape and become the queen again, the champion again, it's not going to take long before the fans get tired of her.
And you derail stuff with her and Alexa Bliss. And again, they've been beefing already. Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair doesn't even need an interim title. That's another reason why I'm going with Chelsea Green. And to further add to your point, JJ, I've already checked the records before even bringing up this match. Chelsea Green has never faced Rhea Ripley.
And I don't think Jade has faced her yet. We're still waiting for Bianca and Rhea to have a really big match.
I don't think Bianca and Rhea ever had a singles match.
So there's a lot of big matches that we want to see Mommy have. Yep. Even if she's had them before, I think it's, stuff that hasn't been as beaten to death as Rhea and Charlotte has. We don't want Rhea Charlotte to become Cena Orton.
Please don't put that on the ether. They've already had two singles matches, JJ. I don't need to see 715 in their careers. But thank you for that. And I do respect that, by the way. And you're right. I forgot about that NXT match because I'm pretty sure it didn't have a clean result. If it did, it was underwhelming because it was just a filler moment in Bianca's genesis of her career because Mommy was on top then after being Shayna Baszler. I think that was actually prior to Shayna Baszler. Again, my NXT, when WWE truly had a brand that took over. And boy, did it took over well. All right, thank you for that, JJ. Arlene, I do see your camera real quick. What do you guys say before we finally get to our weekend main event?
I was just gonna say that there also is a rumor that's going around in Twitter that are saying that maybe Alexa turns on Charlotte because she becomes champion, and it's gonna be Charlotte versus Alexa for the championship. Just saying.
And there goes another tag team. Well, I mean, again, Alexa Bliss, everyone been waiting for her to also get that moment again. Ever since she returned to the Royal Rumble, and that inadvertent spot, of course, at this year's Royal Rumble, that tension could finally be picked up if that is the case. I can see, I see all sides here. But at the end of the day, I also get WWE, and I know how much they love to reuse a time capsule. But I also do believe that we as fans know that Chelsea Green would be perfect for this interim title. And again, Chelsea and Rhea has never happened. All right. Well, good job, everybody, and thank you for everyone's spots. Well, we've had a lot of great fun, unique discussion, some fantasy booking. Again, WWE, hire JJ. AI sucks, and you literally would have creativity behind your product again. We've had a lot of laughs. We had some subtle rants. We've had some fun sound effects. You guys made my blood boil once again. Well, let's get right down into it. And what's most likely guaranteed to be the weekend's closing match, Sunday Night SummerSlam's main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and closure as we know it. Right, that was unnecessary, but I guess we'll go along with it. But I will applaud the 157 of you that are actually tuning in as before I introduce this. Again, please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. You all continue to make this happen. And again, I really hope that you all continue to follow us here at Simply Studios and continue following along Simply Predicting. Let's go ahead and talk about Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, shall we? We could be here all night bringing the story of both these men forward, but there's a key moment in one of the promos I want to take away. You may be the biggest superstar, but there's one thing I will always do better than you, and that's professional wrestling. Isn't it weird hearing those two words in this company? I'm just saying. That being said, Seth Rollins has always been Roman Reigns' Achilles heel, whether it was the mental game or whether it was the wrestling game. And we just saw on Monday Night Raw, Seth burned it down one more time with the expense of the tribal chief, who cannot remove the proverbial chair from his back as he tried to whack Seth freaking Rollins with the very knife that stabbed him when the Shield was broken. Every chance Seth Rollins has, he has exploited Roman Reigns for it. Whether you look at WrestleMania 41 main event, the fallout of the Shield, in between times of short-term alliances going like Battleground 2016, or what happened over the last couple of weeks. The fact that Seth goaded Roman Reigns into this, Roman Reigns says, I have to beat you. I need to beat you. But again, will he do it on his own? Can he do it without the family? Is Roman Reigns actually going to beat Seth Rollins in professional wrestling? Case of cause and effect with what we talked about Saturday night. Let's go around the horn and see who you all acknowledge and think and what has to be, or you hope probably will be, their final singles encounter and closure on the Shield saga as we know it. Considering Seth has always been at Roman in the ring, Roman's never beaten this man one-on-one. Walter, you kick things off. We're just going to go around the horn and get everyone's thoughts. You first this time. Do you have Roman Reigns retaining or Seth Rollins winning? And at the end of the day, is there closure with either man after this World Heavyweight Championship match?
I think there'll be a show of respect after, but I acknowledge my tribal chief. I think Roman wins, and the reason why they keep freaking emphasizing that he's never beat Seth. That's the entire story. They keep drilling in your head. He's never won. He's never won. He's never won. He's never won. And I think that that's their way of telling you he's winning this one. And plus, I already predicted Oba's winning.
Yes.
I'd rather see Oba versus Roman than Oba versus Seth. I think that's the bigger marquee match. We were talking about why Charlotte would win the interim because of her and Rhea being the marquee match. How much bigger can you get than Oba, the young stud, the up and coming, versus the tribal chief Roman freaking Reigns? Like, that is the main event of any damn pay-per-view that you put in front of me. And nobody would complain. So I think Tribal Chief retains the title, and it's going to lead to Oba versus him at some point. And keep in mind, you still got October with the Money in the Bank, so it'll be very interesting to see who wins that. But yeah, Roman's finally going to pull the chair out of his back, get the monkey off his back, and beat Seth. And I feel like then Seth might be going after the other title end up on SmackDown just to give a refreshment of his character and get him away from the vision, get him away from everything, and a renewed sense of purpose, and he can go over there to SmackDown. I know it's a brand split, LOL, but I just feel like they'll do that with him, so Roman Reigns to retain.
All right, fair enough. And for those that are wondering, are you telling me that Roman Reigns never beat Seth freaking Rollins one-on-one? No. I'm not telling you that because, again, the history with the Shield goes all the way back to 2012. And, of course, the fallout with the Shield happened only within like 3 years, I think, 2015. And they did have singles match before, but never when it came to key opportunities did Roman Reigns win. Roman did beat Seth back in a bygone era of Monday Night Raw. If you remember that all the way in the later naughty 2010s. I think it was 2017 or 18. Someone can fact check me on that. But when it comes to the biggest important moments, the stages, the championships, let's not forget WrestleMania 31 at Cast of the Century. Seth always outpaced Roman. Period. Closure is not defined till Roman Reigns beats Seth freaking Rollins once for all with the gold on the line. And Walter, pretty much, I acknowledge your prediction. And with that being said, from one chef to the other, JJ, again, we talk about cause and effect with CM Punk and Cody. The cause and effect here, I think this is closure for both men in either capacity, in either way of the result. So what is your outlook on Seth versus Roman, insert number here, but with the importance of not necessarily the title, but the closure of their career-long saga as we know it?
Noah, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
When someone says in a promo, "You've never beat me," what usually happens?
Karma, not named Kyle McKenna, bites them in the ass.
Seth said that in
Yes.
a promo to Roman.
Yes.
End of story. Roman conquers his demon, beats Seth. We're done. Acknowledge your tribal chief.
There you go.
Whether we end up running this back again at some point in a couple of years remains to be seen, where their storylines are at that point. All it takes is a Rumble win, a Chamber win, a Money in the Bank victory, and we can be right back into the situation, a King of the Ring victory. You know, an Owen Hart tournament victory. Wait, wrong company.
Botch. I understand the
No, not a botch, but it was a joke.
I
the
said
difference.
joke.
There's a difference between a botch and a joke, Noah.
I know I'm human, you JJ, as I always do sometimes.
But yeah, it's. I feel like this is the simplest match to call.
It has to be.
You know,
It has to be.
yeah, Roman has to win, whether you like Roman winning or you don't, because Roman won for 1,316 days. Roman has to conquer this part of his past.
Yeah. And
Period.
I want to, yeah, it's simple as that. I also want to point this out. Versus the last run, so far when it comes to defending the title, he's done all on his own. Seth even called out how many Samoans you're going to have with you. You're going to have your bloodline SWAT team with you, Jacob Fatu, the Usos. You're going to call in another Samoan from the branch of the freaking family tree. Seth even called that out. At the end of the day, for Roman, this is do or die. Prove that you can't be injured. Prove you can beat him one-on-one. Prove you don't need a chair in your spine anymore to have this vengeance carried out. Honestly, if he doesn't use a chair in this match, I'll be shocked. I'm expecting a ref bump. I'm expecting all hell to break loose. This is the modern era. John Cena, I'm ready to order. Much to JJ's point, this could happen again, but I don't think genuinely it needs to. I really don't. But thank you, JJ. Emmanuel, we're on you next. I will say this, though. There are three brave souls, or three people in their house, that did pick Seth freaking Rollins to lead with the WWE Worldwide Championship. The title he redefined when the vision of this legacy was redefined in a tournament won by him, overcoming the phenomenal AJ Styles and going on that incredible run to the point he broke his body. The rest is history. Hello, WrestleMania 40. Emmanuel, that being said, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, who you got?
Would it be something over Femi after the match is over? came out and he calls his King in a Ring shot and dethrones Roman Reigns after the match. That'd be an epic moment in SummerSlam history.
Well, you need some way to end the weekend on a high note unless Seth Rollins retires.
But that's my prediction. There's not much to say. Like, you hit the nail in the coffin, Noah. But to tell you, I don't know why WWE tried to hide facts that Seth says that Roman has never beaten him, and yet, of course, the internet wrestling community, it was on Botchamania, an episode. They rewind the footage and they show the episodes of how many times Seth Rollins lost against Roman Reigns. It's like no one can give 1 second or 10 seconds. Nah, I'd rather not post it. I don't want to hurt the storyline. I don't want to, and people do it. So who's killing the industry? You guys, the internet wrestling community, who's more posting this stuff. You killing the product, not WWE, not AEW, not TNA. It's you.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for breaking the fourth wall and pointing out the attention span shorter than a TikTok of a certain demographic of humanity. But that being said, you got Roman Reigns retaining.
Yes.
All right, very good. Good job, gentlemen. And from the gentleman to the lady to bring us now to our finale. Arlene, again, if Seth loses here, does it really have anything left to prove or give to WWE? For Roman Reigns, we know what the end goal should be for this. So with that in mind, go ahead and close it out with your closing thoughts and say Roman Reigns retains, and for Seth Rollins, maybe he's burnt out.
I'm not pulling any cards. I'm just going with what I feel is going to end up happening. And I think Seth Rollins is going to win the championship.
What?
And I'm not pulling an Emmanuel card. It's just a feeling I have. You have a 2-night SummerSlam pay-per-view. And you have to end one night with a shock. CM Punk retaining the championship is not a shock. Cody wins. That's probably the shock. And then you have Roman winning. And then you're going to have Cody and Roman somehow going Cody versus Roman times 3. But I don't see that going. I think the fact that even Roman said, if I can't defeat you, what am I?
Pressure on the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, if there's pressure. And what does WWE like to do? Repeat storylines. What did Seth do when he faced Roman the last time? He dressed up like he was part of the Shield. What do I see Seth doing again to get into Roman's head? Dressing up like the Shield again. Because they like repeating these storylines.
I mean, the last singles was the Royal Rumble, so I could see what you mean, but you're no, I just want to make sure I heard this right. Why I might be going deaf in one ear, I think, because my left ear is weird. You are picking Seth freaking Rollins to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, because I feel like WWE booked themselves into a corner. Because if you have Roman versus Oba, most likely Roman is going to win over Oba, and we don't want that, right?
I mean, I don't know that's the end game result, but I mean,
come on.
It's a possibility.
I figure I kind of know where WWE is going with this bookie thing, and they like to book themselves into a corner. They probably pictured Roman versus Oba, and they're like, oh shit, who's gonna win? Well, we can't have Roman win because somehow he has to main event Saudi Arabia, so we can't have that yet. So we're gonna postpone Oba and forget, and hopefully people are gonna forget this because they think that we're gonna forget certain storylines.
Wow. I'm just gonna put this out there. There is a 1 in 100 chance of Seth Rollins leaving with the World Heavyweight Championship, in my opinion, at SummerSlam. The only way, the only fathom way I could see that happening is if Roman Reigns' stance position, acknowledgement as the tribal chief is questioned by the final boss, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And again, there's a 1%
And that's where I was
chance in
going
that.
with this, Noah. I feel like the shocking thing is going to be happening.
Oh, here we go. We got Brock last year. She faced again The Rock this year.
No. I feel like this is why I picked LA Knight, Solo, and Royal Keys. It's just the beginning. Jacob, one of the Usos gets pinned. Roman's already getting tired with the Usos, so they kick the Usos out, and then he thinks he has a loyalty with Jacob Fatu. What he doesn't know is that Jacob Fatu has his own agenda. And what do they keep talking about? The elders. Maybe the elders are tired of Roman not picking up his slack. So maybe they're going to try to kick him out. And like you said, maybe Dr. Johnson comes out, or maybe someone else comes out because they feel like Roman Reigns isn't picking up the slack. He's not being the tribal chief he ought to be. And if he can't beat Seth Rollins, maybe you shouldn't be tribal chief. And that's a more interesting storyline than having this stupid storyline that we've been having all this time where Roman's the tribal chief and he's calling himself the tribal chief and no one's questioning him about it. And this is why I'd rather have Seth Rollins, and that way Oba could defeat Seth Rollins and they could and Oba can continue his championship ways. Because honestly, I do not feel like Roman Reigns is that. The only way I see Roman Reigns losing against Oba is if he's calling it and retiring. That's the only way.
Okay, then. Thank you very much. Wow. JJ, I see your hand in the man. I'll go to you. JJ, what you got to say real quick? And wait, what are you holding?
Hold on. Don't go pull that up yet. I'll pull that up in a second. Arlene mentioned elders and not liking the way that Roman has been running things.
Yes. Why do you say that? Uh-oh.
Rikishi's in Minneapolis, or should say was in Minneapolis today for TakeOver.
Oh, boy.
For the Fan Fest. Haku showed up on SmackDown with Tama and Tala.
Yeah, spoiler alert for you folks, by the way, for that.
So, elders are going to be in the area.
Different sides of the family, too, by the way. Different elders on both sides.
But Rikishi and Haku, former tag team.
Yeah, yes, I remember that. But, okay.
And you know, Rikishi's sons are still running with Roman, so.
Something tells me that the bloodline might change again in a weird way, and it very well could be this weekend. And it could be something behind the scenes versus on screen. Just saying. After all, Seth, the last time he screwed...
Charles, we're with you. We feel you. We believe you.
Yeah.
But never say never.
Yes,
And can I just say, I didn't say that The Rock was coming back. I just said that there's something going on because they keep mentioning elders, and all these elders are popping up. They're not just popping up for a reason. I'm just saying.
I get that.
And on top of that, Survivor Series will be 30 years since The Rock's debut. Saudi Mania is the last opportunity, I think, for Rock Roman.
Agree.
Because if we don't get that match in Saudi with the money that the Saudis are willing to pay,
it's not happening.
We're never getting it.
Yeah, period. It's not happening. I completely agree. I think
So I could see Rocky showing up here, Rocky showing up at Survivor Series, maybe Rocky showing up in the Rumble, Rocky showing up at Mania. You do the big four on the road to Mania, one final little run for the final boss. I'm just saying, Charles, you never say never.
Like I said, 1%.
War Games is going to be around the corner. You know the bloodline is going to be in it.
And
you know it's probably going to be Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Jacob, and insert person here, possibly a returning Solo to the squad versus Tala Tama, Haku maybe, and 2 other people on that side. The final boss could be involved. Don't undersell the fact that this may be the road for the final time we could see the final boss.
Like I said, 1% is still potential.
According to his wiki, anything he has is in post-production. He is not in pre-production or filming anything right now.
Well, there you go.
So
That
he
just adds to it.
actually has the schedule available for the first time in a long time.
All right.
If it doesn't happen at Saudi Mania, it's never going to happen. And if it is going to happen, we need to get the ball rolling.
And we need to get the ball rolling on closing this thing out because we're turning into fantasy booking. But that's just the potential we hope to see out of what people would call a very dull opportunity made for a main event that really doesn't have a lot of merit behind unless you look at the long-term fan with the fact that they're both basically villains. There's no good guy here. Just one loser, just one winner. And hopefully the winner will have closure. Arlene, what you got to say real quick so we can close this out? Don't spin the wheel anymore.
Oh, no. My brother still has to go after this, but I'll just make it quick. I'm just saying, Moana, the live action tanked, so Dwayne The Rock Johnson really needs that money.
All right. Well, again, Disney also indifferent. That part of me died a long time ago. Amanda, what you gotta say here real quick? My little barely brings it on me anymore. I get her now to just play Astro Boy and not think about Disney, which I think is a better pursuit. Amanda, what you gotta say real quick?
This is me trying to persuade those Roman Reigns fans to switch their picks so I could get a point. Roman Reigns tend to have this hiatus after SummerSlam. He won't come back until Royal Rumble time. So Orleans' pick is not so outlandish because during this time he is in hiatus land and he won't come back because he doesn't do Survivor Series. He doesn't do the other small pay-per-views. So it wouldn't be so far-fetched for Roman Reigns to lose the title.
Nothing is impossible, including getting the Rage of Wrestling Walter Cruz to 300 if you wanted to see him and his wife's livers caught on fire, YAMC, with a game of hot stuff. Do it today, folks. Again, subscribe today. If you're at Rage of Wrestling right now, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and thank you all so much. Simple as that. This match is brought to you by Rage of Wrestling. As there will be a rage, I'm sure, out of most of the people that watch WWE if Roman Reigns loses this title. Okay, well, that being said, thank you to Mingus and JJ for the further booking on what would be a better family feud than any episode hosted by Steve Harvey. But that in mind, folks, that is SummerSlam weekend. So again, what are your predictions? What are your biggest expectations? What's your biggest WTF that you hope to happen? Let us know in the comments down below as we conclude and bid you all fine that do it. Again, thank you for those that have tuned in. If you haven't already, get those predictions in. The form is live on my social media, on the No DQ prediction stream. It will be in the comments down below, and it will be, of course, privately sent to everybody that has been on the panel. Again, shout out to Statboy Mike as his phone blew up. I'm kidding. But again, priorities happen. So let's go ahead and get the F out of here and bid you all fine farewell before we see you all literally in about 16 hours for the first night of SummerSlam. We'll be doing a watch along here at the Super Reliable Studios. Thank you all so much. And first and foremost, which is gracias having both Dominguez's here that did not go necessarily with the same picks every time. Sometimes siblings agree, sometimes they disagree, but that's why they work so well together. Much like John Cena and Randy Orton did their entire careers. The fact that Randy Orton is still pretty much going despite the fact he's injured. Again, God bless both of you. Good luck to both of you. Arlene, always a pleasure. I know you are subdued from actual prediction participation, but it's still great to have your takes. Where can the people find you and your hermano? And thank you.
You can find me on Instagram, Arlene Dominguez, and Twitter, ADM73244. And I was listening to your NXT prediction, Noah, and you botched it. The reason why I left the NXT predictions, it's not because I won. I actually lost. I came in like about fifth place. But the reason why I quit was because I had picked Kendall Gray to win the gauntlet.
Oh, dear. I'm opening up old wounds.
Yes. And she won because I didn't want to lose a point. And this is why she broke me. Because look at her now. If I would have kept my belief, because no one else picked her, like you said. No one else picked her. I saw potential. I was the first one to see potential there.
All right. Calm down. Tranquilo. Tranquilo,
This is
tranquilo.
why I quit the
JD smiling in here, considering that he lost.
That is why I quit.
I'm used to it.
But
right.
besides that, like I said, you can find me on the thing. And like I said, the tickets for SummerSlam both nights were not that great from what I was seeing on Twitter. So they have to do something for these both nights, at least ending it, for people to feel like their money is worth. This is why I feel like they need a big shock, at least in one of them, or at least both. Make it both. Make it worth people's while. Because otherwise,
That's fair.
you know, people are going to be leaving upset, and you're going to be having more problems selling these pay-per-views, especially for the prices that they're asking for.
Much like Kendall Gray, we're just constantly telling WWE, don't fuck this up. So again, Arlene, thank you so much. Emmanuel, go ahead and tell the people can find you in and out of YouTube. Appreciate you, bruv. Good luck.
Yes, you can find me in Interactive Games and Movies. We can still do the journey because who done it and include other games. The movie part that I need to figure out, I probably gotta do a podcast form than seeing the watch along for the movie. Unfortunately,
right?
Because YouTube keeps keep copyrighting me, and this is just a hassle. So I just gotta do like a mini podcast type of deal and tell what movies I see, what I see, and what I thought about it. And hopefully, yeah, you can follow me, Emmanuel Dominguez, on Facebook, EDM724 at the Instagram, and you can follow my channel. It's underneath that hashtag. And give a comment for once. Leave likes. Tell me what you want to see more. Maybe you want me to play GTA 5. Maybe you want to see me play GM mode. I don't know. Give me ideas because I want this channel to be interactive. That's the name of the channel. So please help me out, people.
He's trying to become the modern day Taboo Tuesday at this point. Thank you, Emmanuel. Good luck in your YouTube channel. Appreciate you. See you next time, CB Dating. Stay tuned with the forum, and good luck this weekend. I look forward to the next time we see the Dick on episode number 180. All right. That being said, Walter, always a pleasure. Again, folks, if you haven't already, subscribe. Acknowledge this. Subscribe today. Rage of Wrestling, because Princess says La Princesa and the current WWE Women's World Champion, Tiffany has told you so. And again, get to 300. Let's get to that goal. Let's freaking go. Walter, plug and tell the people, promote and tell where they can find you. Always appreciate you.
Rage of Wrestling is the YouTube. Please hit it and tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Word of mouth goes a long way. On Instagram, it's walter.cruz.940. On the X, formerly known as Twitter, it's Walter Alex Cruz. And I won't even say the Boost guy because I don't even know when was the last time I went on there. But that's how you
find anyone's been on there. Blue skies don't always lead to clearer days. Just saying. I've seen rain during those type of days, and I'm not a meteorologist, despite the fact I'm in a suit.
Just create new email accounts. With those email accounts, create new YouTube accounts. And with those YouTube accounts, subscribe to Walter. Come on. He only needs 15 more subs.
12 now.
12 by Sunday. Make it happen, y'all.
Do it. Do it now. You're hearing
us. Create
message.
more email accounts.
I'm gonna just leave that.
Create YouTube accounts out of those and subscribe.
You can do it.
What does he get? What do you get, Walter, if you get to 12?
When he gets to 300, which he needs 12 more to get, him and his wife are doing the Hot Ones challenge.
Oh, okay.
Live on his channel with Noah as the host asking the questions.
Good Lord, God bless your livers. All right, and your colons. All right, thank you, Walter. Again, I had to start with, of course, the
Stock up on the Angel Soft.
The three amigos basically is what we got here with these three. How fitting I have them in a triangle, not the Triforce either. Then again, one's probably wisdom and one's probably strength and one's probably power. You decide, folks. That being
Speaking of
said,
Angel Soft, he's just stuck up on the Angel Soft. How did we have a pandemic that had to do with coughing and everything, and we ran out of toilet tissue? Now we got this parasite that's making everybody shit, but toilet tissue's everywhere. There's no toilet tissue shortage and crisis. How's that happening in this year?
I don't know. We're flushing away opportunities for sanity at this point.
How
All
you
right. Damn it. Thank you, Walter. He'll be here all week. And so will I, apparently, because I don't know how to get away from this insanity.
No, you really don't.
180 episodes next time. Cheers to everyone that's made it possible, including the 169 of you. Again, thank you. And thank you, Walter. Again, good luck.
The next one will be Lockdown, right? That'll be 180?
I believe you're correct. I have to
Or
double check.
Death Before Dishonor, is that getting one?
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, I'll talk more about that later because, again, I talk more about that at the end. But that being said, before the end, there's the pre-ultimate. And there's no better pre-ultimate than regular wrestling JJ Williams. JJ, nothing but love to you. Always appreciate you and what you do. You do so much here. You're always a great encouragement, great friend. You're definitely a far better booker and a far better creative mind than anyone right now with a freaking pencil and pen in the damn wrestling business. Sorry, not sorry. But that being said, where can people further engage and find you, former Chase U alumni at Howard University? And what have you been up to?
Isn't that such a fantastic graphic? And yes, I know my girl, spoiler alert, eliminated from the Knockouts TV title tournament.
We all saw it coming.
We did, but you know what? Gotta love her drive and determination anyway. But you can find me representing Chase University at the Renegade JJ Williams on Instagram, at Casa D18 Studios on YouTube, at Casa D18 Studio on the X. You can find me manning the Simply Reliable Studios X account at SR Studios 2024, where we are currently broadcasting, where I post all the big announcements.
All the big stuff.
Go back in the archives and check out the interview Walter, Nick, and I did last night with the Conduit of Karma, Kaya McKenna. Damn near 3 hours.
Aw.
This wasn't even it wasn't even an interview. It was a conversation with a friend.
I love that.
You know,
I'll do your best to her.
Yeah, it was just fun. It's like we did all of the standard interview shit in the first interview. This was just like friends catching up.
Nice.
How are you? What have you been up to since we last saw you? Type of thing. She talked about winning the Spark Joshi Pacific title. She talked about winning the Pro Wrestling Symphony women's title. She talked about what it was like WrestleMania week. You know, brought up some of her tweets that she's posted in recent weeks and months, and she addressed some of them. One of them about how she didn't even feel like the industry wanted her around anymore and took like a mental health break. One about fans sponsoring wrestlers as opposed to businesses and podcasts like us. Just a bunch of different things that she touched on. Really good chat. Talked about some of the people she wants to defend her championships against.
Ooh.
Talked about her desire to get back to Focus Pro and get another shot at Steph DeLander, who dethroned her for that title.
Get your title back.
So good stuff there. Go check that out in the archives. This coming Monday, a very rare Monday interview for us. The former Joe Gacy will be joining us.
Oh, good grief. Wow.
This is going to be a fun one. Going to talk about his time in the Wyatts, his time leading the Schism, talk about his return to the Independents. I do know that he filmed an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
Huh.
But CVV's interviews usually go up on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Correct.
So our interview with him, number one, will be live, and number two will go up before CVV puts his interview up. So we will have one of the first interviews with Joe Gacy.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for that. There's been some weird goings on during Vandal 48 promos on GCW that seriously hint at the potential of Joe Gacy coming to Game Changer Wrestling.
That would be a game.
So I hope that that is a thing, and as such, that maybe I can see him again at GCW. And then go back and check out our interview with Babushka Baron, the People's Babushka, John, from the week prior. That was a fun chat as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, JJ Williams. And again, folks, you have it already. We are the Super Bubba Studios. We want to be your one-stop spot for all your reliable professional wrestling coverage, sports outlooks, and wrestling engagements. And I hope you continue to follow on for the ride, especially if it was for your first time. And again, I thank you all for tuning in to the Predicting. If you want to further engage with me, you can find me, if you choose, on the X or on YouTube at Foster1916. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Again, we got a stat weekend for you. We're covering both nights of SummerSlam and then closing the weekend out with overall Sunday night shenanigans. Easy for me to say. Triple S right there almost. SNS. There you go. Sunday night shenanigans. There we go. There. Words are hard. ShopEvanandCaitlin.com. As we conclude the weekend, bringing you our overall closing take of the entire PLE before we go on to next week. Speaking of next week, stay tuned for me and Papagino. Breaking it down, 6 p.m. Standard Time, and giving you your leaderboard updates live, not a moment prior, for both Team No DQ and the No DQ Galaxy and the City Predicting community. After SummerSlam concludes, again, follow Papagino 0017, the Papagino Network today. Subscribe to today. Me and him will be hosting Officially Breakdown, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live across both our YouTube channels and, of course, the Aaron Riff No DQ Galaxy YouTube channel. And, of course, the people that you saw here on this feed, including Statboy and Mike, who is mostly a voice and off screen, they're not the only fine folks you can learn here at the Super Reliable Studios. So, again, don't be a dickhead. Subscribe today to our Canadian friend Ash at Batty for Wrestling, or follow her on the X at ShadowBadAsh. And stay tuned for the next time me and her do another simple session. And apparently, I'm going to be playing a game and probably being embarrassed. And the other queen, along with Arlene, there are 3 queens, our own Charlie's Angels here at the Super Studios. Follow Datilla when it's wrestling time at Rangers of Wrestling, as you see on YouTube and on the X at Datilla_. And please subscribe today and follow her newest venture on the X at Pop Culture Powerbomb, PC Powerbomb, as you see right there. Arlene, I see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
I just remembered I was going to say something about the Roman and Seth match. Twice, he was tempted to hit Seth with the chair. You think he learned the first time not to go and hit him with the chair? No, he did it the second time.
All right, well, quit opening up old wounds. Roman Reigns can't close them up. There's Band-Aids for that in medicine, I think. But thank you. And again, I thank all of you. And again, shout out to the 33 of you that put your predictions in. The form will be in the feeds once the stream concludes and on my social medias and also at NoDQ. And as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families, no matter how much they may bug you. And just life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. As JJ pointed out, to the predicting, it's for TNA, NXT, WWE, and AEW. And Ring of Honor. We got LAFO, we got Lockdown, we got Death Before Dishonor, we got All In, Money in the Bank, and NXT will be bringing forward a heat wave. So stay tuned for City Predicting for all of those shows and so much more. But with that being said, I know everyone is ready to snore. So I think right now I'm going to bid you all a fine adieu. And Charles, it's in the chat, so it doesn't matter. Not doing it. For Statboy, for Walter, for the Dominguez, for the Rag Wrestling, JJ Williams, for Charles, who's an idiot, and Nick, as much as an idiot. And for all of you that have tuned in for the first time or continue to, whether in your X feed or on your YouTube screen, thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, make a positive impact in life. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in to Simply Predicting for our WWE SummerSlam. We will see you for our watch-along coverage this weekend, hopefully on both Saturday and Sunday night, and the shenanigans to follow. And so you gotta know the Q and stay tuned for Aaron Britt's recap following both nights too. Have a good night, folks, and we will see you again here very, very soon. Take care.